Welcome in. Welcome to our Saturday D&D session. Just a little quick announcement. It's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter session tonight because our lovely DM here is still feeling a little induced. So this is why I'm introducing the show today. But welcome in, everybody. Welcome to DragonMetal Saga episode 26. Can you believe that, guys? 26 episodes already?
26?
I know. Can you believe that? Yeah, you can.
But hello to everybody out in chat. Welcome in Zach, Will Squidfish, Dagoth, Pelicanon, DeMarco, Nomi. Hi, Nomi. Who else is in chat today? Oh, we got StormyD, SSG.
Who dat?
Oh.
Who's that guy?
Did you call out Zach?
Yeah,
Okay.
Zach was the first one I called out.
Oh, good. Thank you guys for your patience. I'm going to jump in here now because I'm feeling a moment where I'll be able to talk without coughing. Probably because I'm sucking on this stupid lozenge.
Yeah, he probably is some nerd, that StormyD guy.
Yeah, definitely some like uber nerd.
100%.
Multi-decade super nerd. So guys, Starkitty and I have been chatting a lot today. I almost called it today because I was feeling really bad earlier. A lot of my symptoms have come back. And so we kind of came to the conclusion that I probably have long COVID. But luckily, with some coffee and some delicious tea made by my sweetie pies and more of these cough drops, we're gonna go ahead and do some role playing today. It might be a shorter stream. We're gonna see how long I can make it. Is the plan. And it's because honestly, I love you guys, and there's nowhere I'd rather be. And it'll also be nice and distracting from the suffering. So, yeah. Thank you for the great intro. I kind of think this should be like a new thing from now on. Maybe we could do like we randomly roll and have non-repeating for everybody. Yeah, that's now that he's going over there. No, we definitely should do it.
Nope. Nope.
You would be great at it, dude.
I probably would. I have said, I've even said it on stream that I'm just waiting for there to be that over the top like anime recap, like last time on DragonMetal Saga.
It's in the mid.
I almost said it's the same. I'm like,
That's funny.
our beloved heroes took down some werewolves. Put those dogs in the kennel.
Is the music too loud? Is it distracting from their voices, Starkitty? Because I did turn it up a tad. How's the music? Is it a little bit too loud, guys? Let us know.
My music's kind of loud, but I'm good.
But you listen
Yeah, I
to
think
your own
that's
stuff.
just fine.
Okay.
Oh, Pelican said there's music. There should be.
Yeah, it's playing. It's showing that it's playing. They don't hear it.
Apparently not.
How about now?
No. Christian gonna be playing the guitar. There it is.
Here, I'll turn it up a
Now
little
we
bit
can.
more.
Hello, Wookiees.
Oh my God! Speaking of hot damn, it's a hot Wookiee. How you doing, buddy? So thank you all for coming today. We're gonna see how far we can go today, and some really neat stuff going on.
Going back to introductions, this is StormyD. He's our dungeon master and NPC. NPC person. This is totally non-scripted at all. I have no idea what I'm saying.
So the
You got
resident
this, you're doing
cough
great.
master. If you want to learn about the intricacies of coughing, let me know. I'll educate you.
It's
I
now
would
Stormy
say
C
P.
for COVID.
That's damn you,
I mean,
BT.
as long as-
Too soon. Too soon.
As long as Stormy doesn't turn his head and cough, I think I'm fine.
You know that the doctors don't even really do that anymore.
Wait, you're telling me he wasn't a doctor?
No, it was me in disguise.
Dang it! Laughing makes my cough go crazy. You're such an asshole.
Soil. Imagine that.
to know.
In the day.
I think we actually got one word.
Hey,
from
Nomi's
Sindri.
putting you in the corner.
That whole sentence there was Wookiees.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Anyway, just like Dagon said.
Okay. How about this? You did the intros, right? But now everybody's got you introed me, and everybody's got to intro themselves, right?
Yes.
So go ahead and kick it off.
Hi, everybody. I am itsStarkitty, and I play Shae, the Great Elf Ranger, Drake Warden Ranger, with a dragoon named Milo.
And don't forget, she's a streamer now. So go drop her follows. Sorry, go ahead.
Nomi. Sorry.
I love Nomi so much.
Yeah.
Funny.
You go first.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. I'm Druid Ira. I almost said my real name. And I play Thyra, who is a Rune Knight fighter. ASMR. Yeah. And you are.
I don't know.
Who are you?
I don't even know.
Who are you?
These storm cups.
Wait, what did he say? I missed it.
Nothing.
Come on now, she's laughing so hard. I gotta know.
There's a really, really dumb video where they made Skyrim intro extremely woke.
No, it was brain rot. It was a brain rot.
It's making it really woke in terms of the statements. It's like very modern day, using like skibbity and bullshit like that. And they call them storm cups. And that was funny.
Okay.
Yeah. But I am extirpatefate. This is Echo, and I play Merrik, who is a spell slinging wizard.
Viper needs a gifted sub.
And that one down there.
Who's this motherfucker?
Don't know, but I got my cable caught.
Are you already half a pee? This is terrible.
Jesus Christ.
Quick, poker belly!
So ready for that.
Hi, I'm BananaTom, and I play Sindri the Sorcerer. Rock Gnome. Do you need any more? Watch the fucking show.
You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean that's pretty accurate right there.
This is the most scuffed start to a stream ever.
You're taking advantage of Stormy not talking.
Yeah.
Right back. I have to pee.
There you go.
Okay, you already did you.
Yes, I was first one.
All right. When she gets back, what do you guys think about doing randomly who gets to pick to do the recap from last week? Or would you rather me force it on her?
I will just read Shae's journal entries to recap.
No. That's your own personal recap. We need a recap of what happened last week. But I don't. I want to conserve my stuff for the role playing.
I've all Druid seen as she's not here to argue her case.
I kind of don't
She can
vote
hear
Druid
you. That's
because
so
we're gonna
mean and
get Strang's exposition that's not relevant to like what happened. She's gonna talk about how stinky they were, and it's like that. We understand that.
But this is
That's
her
what
doing
is
the
it?
impression of Stormy doing the recap.
Or Or she could do it in Fern voice. That would be amazing.
No.
No?
No.
No? You don't want that? Okay.
You guys.
No, because we'll get Fern's opinion on it. We won't get just
You guys.
Fern's.
So listen here, guys. Okay, so last time on DragonMetal Saga, which
Oh shit, here we go again. All right, so random then.
She'll realize in the next decade.
I'm gonna use see this? See this? This is
The never tilted D4.
this is never tilted this D4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It was 1.
please be me. Please be me.
3. That would be BT.
You landed on a
It's
bad
our
choice.
I'll help you fill in the blanks and stuff.
You realize my entire brain is a gap.
Mm.
So last week on DragonMetal Saga. The heroes were trapped in a town with werewolves and trapped villagers. The villagers were being eaten, and they didn't like it at all.
It wasn't the good kind.
So our wily crew decided that they were going to take down these smelly mutts and set them on fire like there was no tomorrow. The job was done. Some things happened. Some ideas went pear-shaped and some did not. But the beast died in the end. And then we met someone that StormyD used to know.
Now you're just a buddy that I used to know.
Now she's just a character I used to play.
Now
That's the D&D version.
Okay,
Wow.
Emily Ray's got to write that up now. New song.
Wow. It's also just really, let's see what I just randomly rolled here. I rolled opposites. I rolled a 1 and a 20. Just
Wow.
sticking with my dice. Feels good.
That would be a
Of course,
fantastic
it does.
roll if you're rolling with advantage, and a terrible roll
Yep.
if you're rolling at disadvantage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, welcome in,
I vote
Chris.
that
Nice to meet
I
you.
vote that BT does recap every week now, in that voice in particular.
It was really good, I have to say. You did amazing, dude. Thank you.
I applaud you taking the narrator bit.
How could I
Going
not,
for it.
after
I know,
what you've
right?
been saying? In fact, you started that last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm sure
think it'd
it's
be-
more than just this week.
Yeah, no, I've said it many times.
Yeah.
So before we get started with the individual recaps, I do want to add a little bit more to what BT said. Everything he said was all accurate. I just want to clarify that basically by defeating the werewolves and the werewolf lord in the village, they freed the village, finding out that all of the villagers were lycanthropes. They were just different lycanthropes. And they freed them. And so actually Wookiees was right. They were double cannibals, really. After they defeated them, mission accomplished. That was the main thing they needed to do. And the second part of what they were supposed to do was to either just go down and meet their contact at the rendezvous point, or, if possible, find a survivor in leadership of the village, which they did, and have them come with them, and which they did. And in fact, the villagers helped them find a shorter, faster route to the rendezvous point. And once they got there, they were shocked to meet this strange little scarred up mage lady with kind of bluish skin and glowing eyes. Or were they like? Describe your eyes again.
I'd have to get the character sheet. But,
Okay, that's fine.
Looking at the little figure, she's got blue eyes, apparently.
Glowing blue eyes, yeah. I might have remembered that.
She is. She is.
You just dingus. Sorry.
She is not necessarily dead, but not necessarily alive. She is like an in-between state.
She's the unique life form called a husk. But they don't know that yet, and we just totally ruined it. But
You said it last time.
You did.
yeah. But the reason why we shared that is because
Fixing its eyes.
a little bit of spoiler. I have used one of Starkitty's favorite characters as an NPC in this campaign for good reason, and it'll all make sense. So that's what I wanted to clarify, and clarify that it turns out that the little undead chupacabra thing that's been following Sindri around, taking a liking to Sindri, is her pet friend / familiar. And but he really has taken a liking to Sindri, and so it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. They're going to have a conversation. They're going to sit down with her, and, help, with the villagers there to talk shop with her, and then they can choose to ask questions that she may or may not want to answer. So it'll be interesting.
Player theory here. I think one of the reasons, BT, one of the reasons why Lyle has taken a liking to your character is because Evelyn is a big pyro herself.
Fair enough.
Seeing your character set off fires all over the place, Lyle's like, yeah, it reminds me of my
First time I
my
met you, I
master.
tried to set it on fire.
Thank you, DeMarco. It's a sweet thing to say. I really appreciate it.
So yeah, that's probably why Lyle likes you.
Okie dokie. So we're going to do the random roll to see who describes what stood out most to their character last week, first, second, and third. Because we know who's going last.
Wookiees, what are you talking about?
I think he's just saying he'll support anything.
He's
you say.
supporting you. Yeah. Otherwise, he'll break some kneecaps.
Druid first this time. Or Thyra, I should say. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just writing a little note. Fate. I'm really proud of how fast our team dispatched such a terrible enemy. I'm not quite smart, but wait, say it again?
Necropostophon.
Necropostophon sounds like a very interesting place and goes against most of what Shae has taught us about undead here. Curious. But I'm ready to get off of this planet.
KK. Hey. Sorry, Merrik.
Yeah.
Bye, chat. By the way.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is. But I thought I know I might be jinxing us, but sometimes I feel like none of these worlds are nearly as difficult as I thought they were. I mean, we've kind of just walked over everything quite well, honestly. Terrifies me because of the, supernal and all that shit. That dragon's really big, and I imagine it's going to be harder to deal with. So this is kind of strange. I'm glad that we're doing well, but at the same time, I feel like we're doing too well. I'm just waiting for the rug pull, as that one sage said. Sindri, what was his name? Was it that storm guy? He was talking about like rug pulls, like as a way of subverting You know what? When we get back, I'll read up more on it. Other news. Why the fuck is this dog spying on us? Can you please explain that? No? All right then.
I guess that leaves BT. I did it again. That leaves Sindri.
I feel like there was a little bit of a gap in my memory for the end of that fight. 1 minute I was stood over there, and then I was stood over the leader. Anyway, glad that the mangy mutts are put down. Very curious as to who this person is. Why the hell the damn dog's been following us for so long? Definitely seems like spying. I think I heard Merrik talking about that. Well, no time to bother about that. Let's carry on with the mission.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Okay, that would be Starkitty /
Shae.
Shae.
Yay.
Fuck.
Dear Journal, it's me, Shae. Journal, we saved the town of where people and everyone lived. Well, except the meaners that took over the town. They were mean and not nice to people. Shae is happy they are gone. My home doesn't need meaners like them. P.S. Shae has learned recently not to upset Mr. Merrik or Mr. Sindri. They have magics that can blow people up. Yes, this is true. Shae can confirm, Journal. Shae is happy they are friends and not enemies. P.S. We met our contact for Haunt Home. She reminds me of a doll I had growing up. Also, Journal, she is the master of that undead dog thing that has been following us around. Please be nice to us, Miss Avalon. Please?
Oh.
I didn't really think about the perspective of like, hey, we're just gonna blow holes in these things. Cavity. Like, oh,
Yep.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Shae had no idea
Yeah.
you guys had that kind of magic with the meteors and then the fireball. So she was just kind of like, note to self, don't make them angry.
Or strategically make us angry and set the loose cannon off towards the enemies.
That sounds like
That sounds like Thyra.
Yes.
I could just see it now. Thyra struggling to get angry at something and you don't know why. I'm like, Thyra, remember what it was like to be on Arathia? Yeah, imagine that. And all of a sudden she's like, fuck these shit. Immediately goes into rage mode.
Kidding.
I was like, you can't rage. Thyra doesn't rage, she just cuteness aggressions.
No, I cuteness aggression. Like, what?
Thyra just aggressions.
True.
It just dawned on me why my tongue's been feeling weird. These
don't
things
wanna
also
know.
have citric acid in it.
That's probably why.
Yeah. Okay. Anywho, this is gonna be
Interesting.
a challenge,
Do
but
it.
we'll get through it. We may, like I said earlier, guys, we may have to cut short early, but we'll see. Like, I feel good right now, other than the cough.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
So, we're gonna.
Also, as a reminder to everybody in chat, we did level up, so we are now level 6.
No,
No.
I'm gonna do the mechanics of
Oh,
leveling up,
yes.
but you don't actually get that until you get back, or
Oh, okay.
like,
Yeah.
it'll make sense.
Technically, but not
Technically.
technically.
So, but you're still right, letting them know that you've leveled up.
We're in the process of leveling up. Happy medium?
We need to sleep.
The house. Which
Our house.
one?
In the middle of the thing.
Okay.
Straight.
We're gonna go chat
See
dark
that? Did you see that?
Don't
I
eat
rolled
the
2
dice.
11s.
now. We'll see ya in a little bit.
Wait, you're not supposed to eat dice?
If they're candy, sure.
This is made out of rock. Don't do that.
Then you shouldn't eat that.
I regret that. You told me to.
No, I said if it's made out of candy. Rock is not candy.
There is rock candy.
Yeah, but rock candy is just a description because it's really hard. It's not actually rock.
That's what you said.
You listen. Instructions weren't clear. Broke tooth.
All right.
I hate today. I hate it.
All right, let's get into it, guys. So, you all met the rendezvous point, which is kind of an interesting little out-of-the-way grotto with a small waterfall emptying into a small pool nearby. But because it's very small, so the water must empty out somewhere else. Otherwise, it would keep going and create another stream. But it doesn't do that. It stays where it's at. It's not even big enough to wade into. It's that small where it is, near the edge of the rocky mountainside there. And dead trees all around obscure this little spot. And it's been obviously set up to be a campsite because there's the campfire and then logs set up all around for people to sit in. But it looks like somebody created it to be that a long time ago. It's not like it was something recent. And the lady you just met, this strange kind of glowing-eyed mage-looking lady, she seemed quite cheery, introduced herself as Evelyn. And Lyle, she informed you guys indirectly that the undead chupacabra thing is named Lyle because he immediately went over and jumped in her arms and got head pats and scratches. And with that, she invites you guys to sit down. And I believe that you all had, when we ended last week, you all said that you all sit down, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want, I can draw it up and stuff. It's up to you guys. We can theater the mind it for a while, depending on what you guys decide.
Theater the mind.
Yeah, I'm good with theater of the mind.
It is, because of the timing of everything, it's evening time, which is one of those things where it's darker, but then also sometimes not, depending on if the moon is peeking out or not. In this instance, the moon is not peeking out, so it is really dark, like like almost pitch. Of course, you all have dark vision, and there's a fire going. But you see under the flickering of the campfire, just this. It's this interesting dichotomy in her face because you can tell, based upon the scars and the stitches and stuff in her face, that she has suffered greatly in her life. She still has this kind of joyful light in her eyes, and she seems very affectionate with the chupacabra. And as you all sit down, she says, so before we get started, maybe it might be a good idea for you all to introduce yourselves as well. And then pick somebody to make a report of how the mission went. What do you say?
I look at Miss Thyra.
I nod. I'm Thyra.
She nods.
Well, Merrik, it's Sindri, Shae, and Avery.
I got you. Got you, boo.
And your little white fluffy friend.
Echo would not be visible
Oh, you don't.
at this point.
Yeah. But when you guys, I could have sworn that you had him when you first met her. But if you don't remember it that way, then I'll trust your memory better.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, Echo would not be. I try to keep Echo a little bit more protected in the sense of meeting new people,
Okay.
especially on spaces like this.
Gotcha.
In
Okay.
especially Merrik's most hated world.
What was that? His most
Okay.
hated word?
I said
World.
especially on Merrik's most hated world.
A world. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to trust things here, so Echo is as safe as possible.
And of all of us, Merrik, I do think that you are the most eloquent to write the report.
She asks, "Who's the cute little purple dragon?"
This is Milo, and he's a cat.
Oh, right. Cat. She winks.
He's in the harness.
Right.
She says, he's a cat, looking from side to side.
Well, in regards to the mission, I guess.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt
Yes.
you. The villages.
I don't remember their names. Those were never.
Because I actually did. I didn't give the names. Remind
totally
me,
know
was
who
it
they
one
are.
person that went with you or two?
I thought it was one.
It was two.
It was two?
It was two. I thought it was
two.
I'm pretty sure.
We'll call it Scout Ralphie and
Ralphie?
Ralphie.
Good try.
purple flowers. They taste like birds.
And I think they had said they were going to send their best financial negotiator person.
Kieran Red.
Oh my God,
Here's Grim.
Grim!
Here's Kieran. Hi, Grim.
Hi, Grim. Thank you,
Welcome
brother.
in.
Thank you so much for the raid. Hi, guys.
There he is.
I'm gonna let you guys do
There he is.
the thing so I don't cough.
There's Kieran. Welcome
There's
in, Kieran.
Oh my God, my neck hurts so much. All right.
And remember, everybody, tomorrow Kieran is celebrating his streamiversary.
Yep.
Drop in,
Correct.
say hi.
Correct. Do those things.
Yippity doo dah.
Did we get some shout outs for Grim and Kieran?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sure BT took care of it. He's the master.
And there's the cast also in chat. Welcome in, friends. Hello, hello. Also, yeah, if you want to catch up, there's the YouTube link.
And the and then
Love you guys.
So yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys the names again real quick. So thanks again for the raid, guys. We're gonna jump back into the role play. I love you all so much, and we'll take great care of your folks, Kieran and Grim. If you got a raid run, you know, we get it. And
Self-care is the best care.
yep, enjoy the show. So of course, since you traveled with these guys for a day and a half, you would have known their names. Scout Ralphie and Finance Counselor Stalmar.
Salmar?
Stalmar.
Finance guy?
Yeah. That's just the title that the leader gave him, and it's because you got to know him a little bit. It's because he's a merchant. Has been
He
good.
can count?
Trained as a merchant. What was that?
So he's the treasurer.
Kind of.
I said so he can count.
Right.
Just don't mind me. Move on. We're good.
Okay.
We're trying.
So, Merrik, did you want to, since she's asking about them?
Yeah, this is Ralph, and this is Stalmar.
Well, obviously that means that you were successful in finding them. Can't wait to find out all about it and to see what we can do. I'm super thrilled that you were able to, well, you know, I don't want to jump the gun. I'll let you speak. Please continue.
Let me explain.
No, wait, let me sum up.
Let me sum up. I believe this. Stolen from me. So we arrived. They didn't like that. They questioned us a lot. Had some weird feelings. They let us in. We talked to the new leader. His name, what was the name he said? He said that it was like some Topa shit.
It sounded like a sneeze.
No, that's his real name. What did he say his name was? He said his name was.
I think it started with a Z.
No, it was Tanzo.
Tanzo. Yeah.
Okay, I was wrong.
So, yeah, he said the leader's name was Tanzo. Took over from the previous elder who died. They said they had no idea about any regiment that came through. They asked us to leave. We requested to stay the night. They were cool with it. They tried to give us some food. We decided not to eat it because we felt that was fishy. Now, come to find out that Tanzo's name is Atopus, and he took leadership by force and started cannibalizing everybody because they're a bunch of werewolves. Then they tried to kill us, and we said, fuck that, and then we murdered them all. Now, the villagers are fine, just anyone who was part of the coup. It's all been eradicated, and now we're here. Also, I found this, and I show her the idol of the owl.
Ooh, what an interesting relic you have there. It's quite magical.
Yeah, I know it's divine. That's about it.
I burned the dead.
He did burn the dead. That was good. Shae taught us about that. Everyone here did an exemplary job. Yeah, that's about it. Probably if you go back, if you end up going over there, they might need a little bit of assistance cleaning up whatever that is below the church.
Honestly,
I
we
didn't want to
should've
go in there. It's kind of gross.
Wow.
Your dog is weird.
What an excellent,
Sorry.
very eloquent and concise report. You covered it all, and you all did remarkably well. To our mutual
Yes.
friend. I will make sure that you all get significant
The credit.
bonus because
the
of how
credit
well
we
you
deserve.
Yes.
did. I didn't hear what you said out of character.
The credit we deserve.
Oh, credit, of course, but I realize, of course, that you all are also need to make a living. So I will make sure that you get a significant bonus. Well then, it seems to me that before we get to know each other a bit better, which if that's what you all would like to do, I would avail myself of you to answer your questions if you would like. But before that, I should probably conclude business with Stalmar and let them be off back to home, since some of the things that we might want to talk about a bit more private. Would you all concur?
That's fine. While you do that, I'm just gonna go over to that bush over there and be right back.
She's like, oh, okay. And then
I'm gonna go to the bush.
So I'm not gonna role play, since normally I would, but I'm just gonna kind of exposition the conversation that she has with Stalmar and Ralphie. And the bottom line is that they're thrilled that she found their little village important enough to go to such lengths to help them out. And they're also rather surprised that the master of Necropostophon would come herself. You all hear them say that. And she said, well, she explains to them that due to time constraints with some other projects that I was working on, I would have just come investigate myself. But this was the best I could do and honestly, there's some other reasons why I wanted to have these folks complete the quest. And she says, so they took care of you all to your satisfaction? And then Stalmar and Ralphie are like, oh my God, yes. They're like, we're gonna make statues in their honor because they just are blown away by how much you all help them. And bottom line is
mine bigger than theirs.
Huh? What?
Say it
So
again?
can you make mine bigger than theirs?
That gets a chuckle out of everybody. Eventually, they do talk shop business with Stalmar, and she says that not only is she going to kind of improve the trade amongst between them and her settlement, but she's also going to try and make sure that there's some regular patrols to help give them even more protection. And you guys don't need the deets, but they basically work out a really good trade agreement, caravan support, all kinds of stuff. And after, it takes, a couple hours, but eventually, since it's only evening and not nighttime, and they prefer moving at night, Ralphie and Stalmar thank you guys once more profusely. Thank her, and of course she even put it all in documents. She brought scrolls with quill, and so it was all documented. And even asked one of you guys to sign the witness. And who would have volunteered for that?
We would all point it at Merrik.
Okay.
I know, there'd be like, can we somebody bear witness and sign this? We all just turn and look at Merrik.
It's a really funny meta thing because I'm actually a notary.
In real life, I know, right? It's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so they get on their way, and you're left there. And during this time, during this time, she's just been kind of. Lyle's been lying in her lap, and she's been stroking him, just rubbing him, and about this time now that they left, she looks at you all and says, now it's an honor to make your acquaintance. I can't promise I will answer all of your questions, but I'm sure that you're curious about quite a few things, and I will do my best to be forthright. I will be 100% honest with the questions that I can answer at this time. And I ask that you understand that if I keep anything back, it's not because I have nefarious purposes, but I need to protect my people. And to make allies of you. You all have done remarkably well, and you came highly recommended. And
By whom?
let's just say a mutual friend of ours.
Is he a little on the dark side?
Sometimes, I suppose.
Sindri just blankly stares, not knowing if that means what he thinks it means.
Well, I'm sure our mutual friend shares the same sentiment. I'm sure he's out there scheming. Anyway, yeah, so what is it you want to know?
During the conversation, Lyle finally gets tired of being lulled to sleep and jumps out of her lap and runs over and tends to try and play with Sindri, see if he can get him to react and do anything. And she's like watching this, fascinated.
Sindri casts a firebolt into the distance.
Into the distance? Like away from the...
Fires it straight.
Oh, so when you do that, I think the reaction you're looking for actually works. He goes running after it.
That's quite the interesting dog. I'll be honest, not quite the fan of the canine variety here entirely.
Okay, I have a question about the dog thing.
Well, it's not quite a dog.
So Shae is a ranger from New Haven, and she knows about undead, but that thing is not undead. Yeah, it's not alive.
Avery chimes in at this time and says, yes, I also am quite confused by it when I did my undead sense as a paladin of the wind. And Evelyn says, oh, well, yes, that's because Lyle is my familiar / sort of spirit animal. And he and I share basically, he's a bit unique, but so am I.
What you talking about, Evelyn?
She says sheepishly, she's like, well, you see, this is difficult for me to share because some people, especially people from New Haven, have an immediate kind of visceral reaction to this, especially on this world. But I am a unique person per se. I'm a unique kind of new race called the Husk. I'm neither undead nor am I alive, more like unalive. And Lyle basically shares my characteristics, but even more so because in the centuries that we have traveled together, he has never been harmed by anything.
How long is the century?
100 years.
That's how long you've been alive?
Mm,
Are you sure you're not an elf?
no, definitely not an elf. Maybe I was at some point in time. I don't know. It's Merrik.
Player question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when Shae just drops, I'm from New Haven, what does Avery's do?
As soon as Shae says that, Thyra just turns and glances at Avery just to gauge her reaction.
Yeah,
Merrik
just
too,
like-
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, just
Avery
like-
is fascinated by this whole conversation, and when she hears that, she thinks to herself, well, she has this look on her face like you get the sense that she believes that Shae is being clever by saying that she's from New Haven. Yeah.
In character now. So you say that Lyle, is it? Yeah.
He seems to really have taken a liking to your gnome friend Sindri here. I find that quite fascinating. It makes me happy that he found someone that makes him happy.
Yes.
I find it
You
kind of
said
strange too, because I did technically try to set him on fire the first time I saw him.
He probably thought you were playing with him, since he's effectively indestructible and immortal.
Allow my friend Merrik to finish his question. He
Yes,
takes
of course.
long pauses between his sentences, so just allow him to finish.
My apologies. Please continue.
You say he's your familiar, and that you have an interesting bond with him. Are you privy to elaborate on what you mean by that? Like, can you perceive through him?
If I choose to.
So, sorry if this sounds quite tinfoily, but we're not privy to being spied on. It's
Oh,
kind
of
of
course. I can see why you would think that. Forgive me for interrupting you. No, please be clear. Once I came to the rendezvous point, Lyle, for some reason, decided to run off on his own to play. He does that sometimes. And I want him to be happy, so I let him. And also, even though I can clairvoy through him, and/or clairaudio through him, I can only do so at a certain range. But he's been far out of my range to be able to spy on you. It was definitely not my intent. I had no idea he would find you all and take a liking to you. If you want to roll a sense motive, you can.
That's fine.
Insight check.
How long have I been playing D&D with Stormy? I know exactly what he means.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm also just for articulating it's an insight check.
Yeah. With that, 15.
You're pretty convinced that she's being very forthright right now.
Got it.
Anybody else want to do an insight?
Yes.
While they're doing that, just says it's
So much for that. Yeah, Shae believes every single word she says.
saying that out of range. I know I haven't really explicitly stated, or I don't know if we've explicitly discussed what, like when Merrik thinks I'm too far out of range with Echo, like what's that feel like?
So
Or
far, you
has
haven't
there not?
experienced.
Got it. Okay, and that's what I thought. It's like, hey, well, interesting. You have there's a range at which you can perceive. That's weird.
She says, no, actually, if you don't feel range, that's unusual. You have a familiar?
I got 21, by the way.
You are, even with your super high roll, you're really confident that she's hasn't said a single lie so far, and hasn't even been shady or deceptive at all.
While the little beastie thing's still chasing the firebolt, Sindri's playing with his new axe to try and get some understanding of how the magic works.
Gotcha.
Instantly, totally not interested in the conversation. Just fiddle.
Suddenly,
You
from out
hear-
of nowhere, from the opposite direction of where he ran off, you see Lyle right next to you. He's like, looks like he wants to play. And she says, sorry to interrupt again, but Lyle has some Lyle has some great tricks, so feel free to play with him if you want.
You say tricks.
Well, try your standard.
Tricks have Sindri's interest.
Try your standard retinue of puppy dog tricks.
Oh, like bitch.
Fetch, roll over, play dead, kind of thing.
Oh,
Does he have to actually
what?
play
Play
dead?
dead. Play dead.
You see a slightly unhinged smirk on Sindri's face as he throws the axe into the distance.
So you throw the axe into the distance. Are you going to use its effect to have it come back or not?
Absolutely.
Okay. You throw it out, and Lyle looks a little confused because you threw an axe, and then she asked him she
Play
gave him
dead.
a command to play dead. And so she says, perhaps one of you should play with him one at a time. You might confuse the poor little pedo.
I'm sorry, Lyle. Listen to Mr. Sindri.
With that, he jumps in front of you, and looks at you, and looks where you threw the axe, and sees the axe coming back, and looks at you, and looks at the axe, and just, that's what he does.
What happens if I don't catch that?
It kind of, so it's not like a,
Like a boomerang.
I mean, it's not like a boomerang where you can hurt yourself with it. It's magical, right? So it just kind of,
Yeah, it was basically, I didn't know if when you throw it, you've thrown it, when it comes to a stop, it then comes back, just magically returns to you, or it physically magically returns to you.
it's kind of both, right? It just happens very quickly. And it pops, it can either pop into your hand or into, whatever, your belt or whatever. And since
Okay.
and that's what it does. Pops into your belt since you weren't thinking about or choosing to grab it. Because you weren't wondering about that.
Well, seeing as the dog seems interested in the axe and he's clearly not going to get it, Sindri's going to carry on trying to suss out the axe.
She says,
throwing it and returning it.
we can play after we've got to know each other a little bit. Lyle, behave now. We still have more questions and friendship building.
Sure. You asked if I had a familiar. But first, are you able to? Because I understand familiars. can you summon him to an extra dimensional space? And back?
Oh, so
Yeah.
normally that is the case with a regular wizard or sorcerer who uses familiars. Lyle is a bit unique, so he does not have that capability.
Oh.
Right? We never did do that, right?
Let me see the book. 'Cause I think that's part of her class.
So that, yeah, I do. His name's Echo. And then I'll hold my hand out as if I'm presenting Echo with no Echo. And then I'll just have him go,
Oh, look at the little white fuzzy owl. He's so adorable. Does he like scratches and treats?
yeah. His beak's a little sharp though, I'd be careful.
He's got an interesting aura that matches yours. He's a bit unique, like Lyle, in that he's not just a familiar. He's similar to a spirit animal of some kind.
Yeah, the Fae can be kind of tricksy. But in terms of distance, I have yet to find a distance where I cannot perceive through Echo. Now, there might be one. I haven't sent him really that far away from me because, it's just a little guy. But yeah.
That's fascinating.
So to answer the question about whether he can go into an extra dimensional space, Avalon would never have called him into an extra dimensional space because it says you may dispel your familiar with a bonus action, causing it to fade into the ethereal plane. And because of everything that's going on in the ethereal plane for Haunt Home, Avalon's like, nope, you are not going there at all.
So she would never have even tried to even know if it would work.
Yeah.
So as far as she knows, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead.
Yes. I imagine you'll find that we all have some quite interesting quirks. So I'm sure in a way you've already know about. To some degree, at least. I wouldn't say necessarily to the extent that what you're finding out now, but I'm sure you're well aware of our capabilities.
I am. You are quite above the norm. You all have unique auras too, which is quite fascinating to me. I'll get to in just a moment, Shae. For example, Thyra, your aura is very much in transition right now, in flux. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of changes you might go through should we become friends and meet again. And Sindri, you too are finding out things about yourself that are a bit unusual and surprising. And Shae, you and Milo have something special and unique there. I can see why Mr. Midnight likes you all.
The penny drops for Sindri.
The what?
Yeah.
I said the penny drops for Sindri.
He goes,
Yeah. I mean, it's quite an interesting fellow, isn't he?
You could say that.
Yeah.
He's been very helpful in helping me found my settlement of Necropostophon, and I owe him a great deal.
how long have you been trying to get this settlement up and running?
Well, ever since I first came to this world 27 years ago.
Yeah.
Originally, I come from, I'll be honest with you, I come from a different universe where this world exists a bit different, but very similar. And in my travels, in my research, I've been working on ways to travel to other planes and multiverses. And one of my experiments ended up dumping me here in this alternate version of the haunt world, which I call home.
Do you happen to have any extra spell scrolls for my dear friend here, who's also very much into magic?
Oh, yes, that's right. You're a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. No.
You're a wizard, Merrik.
She says...
Who is this Harry of which you speak?
Sorry. She says, I do
He's
not
kind of dirty.
have any on me, but perhaps in the future, should you come this way again to this world for some reason, you can come visit my home at Necropostophon, and I will gladly let you peruse my library that I have collected. It's not nearly as impressive as what I left in my other haunt home, but I'm sure that it will be useful to you. Yes, Shae, you had a question.
Yes. Shae's a ranger, and Mr. Merrik's a wizard, and Miss Thyra is a fighter, and Mr. Sindri is a sorcerer, and Avery is a paladin. What is your class?
She says that I'm a specialist wizard called a necromancer. Technically, that's what people would call it, but I'm not really that. It's not quite true. My class is a specialized class called Necromaster.
What does that mean?
Well, as you can tell by Lyle, and because of my own unalive nature, I get along well with undead. And so a necromaster is someone who brings back the dead and who kind of can understand and control undead through magic.
So your entire settlement is undead, correct?
Yes and no. I've built up quite a protective army for Necropostophon, but my settlement is about protecting. Maybe I'm saying too much right now. I must be careful. I tend to make friends easily and say too much.
Who are we to tell?
Understood. I do apologize, but you've unfortunately have said quite a bit in present company.
So, you're right. Then I should be completely forthright with you, since I've already spilled too much of the beans. You see, where I come from, in the haunt world that I come from, there were no other unique, unalive beings like myself in life. And there never were in the centuries that I was there. And the haven of that world would continue to rise. And actually, I was an adventurer long ago. And we adventured on behalf of Haven, of that world. But when I came here, of course I was flabbergasted that I couldn't find a way back, but I found my calling because apparently here on this haunt, there's a new life form. Life form similar to me. A type of undead, but not. There's still, it's hard to explain. It's almost a paradox. But my army of Steves, they are all undead. I protect them. I mean, I use them to protect my my people. And I've been gathering and finding all of the surviving husk people into my settlement, and I called it Necroplastophon. After all of my friends, the Steves.
And then how, if you don't want me asking, how did you come to befriend the King of Midnight?
When I traveled here, not long after I was here, and I first stumbled upon some husks and decided I would protect them. Thank you for your understanding.
Something wrong?
Please, thank you. I guess I'll do another one of these now.
Milk?
Yes, please. She says,
5 Stormy.
King of Midnight, that name for him, it's, I guess it's
So
applicable
pretentious,
considering
isn't
the
it?
crown that he wears, but he doesn't really like it. At any rate, I call him Mr. Midnight. Mr. Midnight, he saw that I was struggling. So at first, we couldn't find a place to settle, and so we were kind of nomadic. And of course, I needed to be nomadic to find more. And he basically showed up one day and offered to advise me, to assist me in building a place that would protect these people, these unique people, and help us stay hidden away from the vast negative undead forces of this world, and honestly New Haven as well, because again, understandably, they would not be very compassionate about an entire race of semi-undead people living in a nation. So he's been very good at helping us, and his plan is, he hopes, his and my plan is hopefully one day we'll be able to change that relationship with New Haven. I mean, they don't, right now we have no relationship because they don't know that we exist. But my hope, my plea is that one day we can change that. Because this world is the way it is, instead of eradicating an entire unique race of people, I would like to see the living living alongside the non-living. That's my dream. And so you can see why I was trepidatious and should feel bad about saying too much. Because, you know, I know that you all might not. I believe you all seem very open-minded to me, but I can understand if you all have concerns as well.
You know our mutual friend. There's very little that shocks us at this point. I feel.
But yet we're surprisingly shocked often.
I feel you're surprisingly shocked often.
I feel like our Wind Paladin's probably a bit more shocked than anybody else.
Yeah, Avery's like, she's like just sitting there in stunned silence with all of this.
Avery,
Well-
I do hope that you can be understanding and secretive.
She says,
just
kidding? I think this is fascinating. A new life form? That's beautiful. Yes, they may be, their core some sort of necromantic life form, but that doesn't mean that they have any less validity to live than another life form. As long as they're not evil and wanting to harm someone else, why would anybody want to eradicate them?
So this new life form, are we supposed to not say anything to the in our report?
She says, "Oh yes, please. That was something that I was hoping that we would come to an agreement with. I was hoping that we would, especially since I've said too much already. Now that I've kind of let too many of my cards play out, I was hoping I could get an oath from you all that you would at least, for a time, keep this a secret, because if it got out here in this world at New Haven, it's possible that they may send people to eradicate my people, and
Oh, it's okay. We don't even know where New Haven is compared to here.
plus don't you all have like a limited time that you can be here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Also, Avery, if I can add to you keeping this secret and also one other secret, please.
Avery says, what secret, Shae?
Please don't share that Milo is a cat dragon.
She's like, oh, of course not. Sweet Milo, why would I do such a thing?
Because I don't want Milo being taken away from me, because he's different and unique.
She says, I've come to realize that all of you are different and unique, and I'm honored to count you as allies and hopefully friends after this. Evelyn says, yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is out of character?
Yeah. While that's happening, Merrik would like to, while they're conversating about this and that, I'm going to go over to Thyra real quick. Team meeting? I want to ask a question, but I don't want everyone to hear.
Telepathically, I'm gonna Raven's Edge.
Yes,
May reach out to my companions. Merrik has something he would like to ask us all.
Of course, at once. Telepathically, Raven's Edge speaks out to each of you and says, Merrik has a question that he wants to ask of the team, but keep it quiet and silent in your heads for now.
Do we trust Avery enough to speak freely here? I have questions that I think she can answer, but Avery's going to find out where we're from.
I know that I'm just here to translate these things for you, but I would make an advisement if you will allow.
That's why I'm asking for an opinion.
Of course, it's up to what you all decide, but I am of the opinion that perhaps a bit more time as friendship with her before you give away your deepest secret, which could completely upend her entire vision of the way things work on her world.
I'd also like to mention that now she's aware that we know the King of Midnight, after I've been coyly asking about him.
Does she know any tales or legends of the King of Midnight?
We're definitely in a position to ask now. But on the other side of that, she doesn't seem to be focusing on that side of things too much. She's definitely distracted by the whole new life form thing.
I think that she has the capability of being trustworthy, but I don't think she's ready. I could pull Avery aside if need be.
Or just keep it strictly about Blabbernacki himself. Not
Unfortunately,
involving where our worlds are entwined.
all right. I'll navigate as best I can.
I mean, I can cause quite a distraction.
No need.
Oops, I set a tree on fire.
Raven's Edge, you may cut the line.
Yes, madam.
Hello.
No.
Could have said bye first.
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah.
So, since this conversation has been going on a little while, and you all kind of stopped playing with him, Lyle's just been sitting next to you with his tail wagging, kind of plopped next to Sindri. He's just perfectly happy and content sitting next to you.
Fireball.
All right.
So I'd like to ask, so our benefactor for this job?
Yes, the syndicate, the Black Financial Syndicate on Progentica.
Not quite that. Wait, you know Progentica?
Of course. How else would I be able to work with the Omega Corps for missions?
That's a good question. I don't know. We've been in the dark quite a bit, darker than tonight. So all we know is our benefactor, which in a way is kind of hurtful if they view us in such high regard in general. Comparatively, I understand we are relatively no one on Progentica per se, but why so much secrecy?
He says, well, the governments and civilizations that exist on the four Barbary worlds, at least as Mr. Midnight has explained to me, all have their own history and their own way of doing things and the traditions and culture. And the Omega Corps feel that they have not evolved to a point where they're ready to have that knowledge. But he believes that one day they may, and that Valion is very close. And that once they do, then true trade routes can be secured between the worlds. So for now, it's really a matter of, it's not always good for a more powerful nation to interject themselves politically in other nations' business and affairs. Obviously, we send missions, which is a contradiction. Not we, I should say they. But sometimes, Progentica has their own interests too. And, no one's perfect. There's good and bad everywhere. It's honestly a complex and difficult question.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the political aspect of interjecting with other nations and across world. I get that. Why were we kept so in the dark? I mean, we had no idea who our benefactor was, other than it's your benefactor. And then when we were asked about who our contact was, we had no fucking idea who you were. How are we supposed to maintain anonymity or blend in if we have zero information? I know this is not your problem, per se, but that seems quite crazy. Unless Abennaki's the one who set it up, then I can arguably understand why, but I think he'd have the balls to fucking tell us.
She scratches her head. It's interesting that you have such animosity. I'm not sure who this Mr. Abernathy is you keep speaking of, but I'm assuming that you mean Mr. Midnight.
Speaking of, anyway.
So,
yes.
Well, she says, let's just say that Mr. Midnight has some influence over the syndicate. And he's an interesting character. He tries to keep a balance in the multiverse, in the lattice. Not an easy thing to do. It's probably the most difficult job in existence. But
oh, absolutely.
I can understand why perhaps he can be rather vague sometimes and doesn't always share as many details as you would like. So I can see why you would be a bit irritated at him.
See, the assumption is that it's directed at Mr. Midnight. I merely spoke that if it was him, that would make sense. So you've confirmed that it is him, and that does make sense. Irritating, nonetheless.
Avery raises her hand now. She goes, so, she's like, character, did you guys ever talk? I think you did talk to her and ask her about if she'd ever heard of, I'm pretty sure you did. When you were role-playing with her, when you met her, when she came to your house or your apartment, didn't you guys talk to her?
Yeah.
You've also asked the question in front of her to other people as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Forgive my my long COVID brain. What?
Yeah, no, you're good.
You remember what she said then? Does any of us remember?
I know it's nothing more than the stories.
Yeah, nothing more than just like
no
basic
matter
wild stories.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything that I've asked about Abernathy in general has been just met with, well, here are the stories.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, perfect. Thank you. So she now chimes in and says, so if I'm understanding you all correctly, and trust me, I don't want to put myself in a difficult position here.
I think you might already be in one, love.
I was going
Indeed.
to say the same thing.
You all heard the legends of the King of Midnight, and you all apparently have met him, and Miss Avalon here also has met him, and has been consulted by him.
Yeah, I'll see where that puts you.
I mean,
It's a shame.
growing up, before my Realm Runner powers activated, I had always, heard the legends and stories and stuff of Realm Runners. But of course, there are special kinds of legends and lore and stories that only are told amongst other Realm Runners. And so I'd never heard of the King of Midnight before I became a Realm Runner. But I was always fascinated by all the legends and the stories, and it's one of the reasons why I was actually thrilled that my realm running powers activated. But the stories that some of the stories that are told about this person, like they sound like wives' tales or fairy tales and such, and so I never gave it much credence. It was just a interesting legend amongst realm runners. But since I've been here with you all, I've seen so many new and interesting things in this one mission, and now I find that this King of Midnight is a real person, and you all know him, and his name is Abenaki.
Well,
He's the reason why we got connected, to be able to be realm runners ourselves. He plucked us.
He what?
He plucked us out of our homes and gave us direction.
So he recruited you to be realm runners. Interesting.
Yes.
Well, he didn't. He didn't ask you for anything in return. And at that point, Evelyn, she's like nodding her head, like she says, "Yes, I'd like to know that too."
Oh, he didn't ask for anything, did he? If he did, it was cryptic.
And Evelyn nods her head at that and rolls her eyes.
oh my God. Well, this. Yeah. Well. No. Honestly, quite irritating.
Say that again. I didn't hear it.
Honestly, no. He didn't ask us for anything, which is quite irritating. In my opinion.
Avery says, "I can understand that because it's like it's almost as if holding over your head that you owe him, like a favor in the future." And Evelyn says, she says, "I can see why you might feel that way, but I can't say that that's not the case. I don't know."
I mean, where I come from, we like to pay our debts. And the only thing, the last thing he told me was to ask questions. So I guess that's perhaps the payment. It's been quite difficult, actually. You say he resides in, or at least the, oh God, where did we come from? Greydon?
Yeah, Greydon.
Yeah, at least the guys in Greydon said he resides in the settlement.
And she says, "Well, when he's there helping me, of course that's true, but it's not his personal residence." Out of character, we got off track on something that I want to get back on track on, but I need help remembering what it was. It was, you were...
Avery asking about it.
No, before
was
that,
the last thing.
I think it was something that, shoot.
Oh, are you talking about me being open in front of Avery?
No, it was you had asked Avalon a question and that didn't really get answered.
Oh no, she answered it.
What was the question? What did she answer?
Well, I mean, I asked about our benefactor and why we were so kept in the dark. Unless it was Abernathy, then it makes sense. And she confirmed it in not so many words. So understandable why we've been in the dark. It makes sense for the King of Midnight.
Well, I was thinking that it was something else, something you guys were kind of irritated about, but never mind. We're fine. We can proceed.
Yeah, it was the irritation of being in the dark. Like, how are we supposed to know who you are and answer and be this thing, assuming it came from the syndicate?
Oh, I remember now. Okay, thank you. So she chimed in and she interrupts you guys and she says, "So I'm gonna be since I'm obviously really bad at secrets. I'm going to tell you, I wasn't originally going to be here. It was going to be one of someone who works for me, but and he would have been much better at keeping things secret. But I got done with one of my projects a little bit early, and was so excited to find out what happened at Grey Dawn, and to meet you all, that I decided to come here myself. And so that's one of the reasons why, if you look at it this way, you would have been even more, you would still be sort of in the dark if I hadn't come.
I mean, realistically, we still are in the dark for a lot of things.
Well,
I can help with that. Turns his light on.
Avery chuckles at that.
Come on, you must have seen that coming from a mile away.
Barely
You guys-
see 10 feet in front of us.
Want to take a quick
I was going to
break?
suggest the same thing, Stormy.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
That way you can think about more stuff if you want.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes, guys. Enjoy the intermission.
Their picture on Discord.
Oh, it's only over your own picture. You see it on. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's gone.
This is the most unconventional D&D stream on Twitch.
The mouse.
How to distract the streamers? Mouse. Oh, he's like my perfect kind of weird. I really like him. I feel like he's the kind of person that would tell Guar it's okay to pee on the tree. And that feels very important to me for some reason. My hair is so heavy today.
Well, you did wash it. It's full of water.
I know.
So stretch, right? Stretch, 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 stretch.
Oh.
Fencer's pose.
Oh, okay, now you're showing off. Don't do that. I can't touch my toes.
That is, she can do standing mermaid on one side.
Oh, standing mermaid? Let's see if I can do it in jeans.
Okay.
Foot into elbow. Connect the fingers.
Quick save, quick.
Okay, cool.
It also sometimes does this sound, this random thing. It just happens from time to time. I think it has to do with some sort of decondensation or something. I don't know. It's really weird. But I swear to God, it sounds like an army of masturbating gnomes.
Are you sure they're squirrels, Tony?
What?
Are you sure they're not masturbating squirrels?
No, I'm
Like,
pretty
on
sure
my
they're.
affiliate stream?
I'm pretty sure they're no.
You know, just a.
It does. It's just this sound. It's this weird sound. I can't. But
You've proven time and again that your eccentricities are beneficial to not only yourselves, but to the guild and to the land in general. So,
We are so special that he pulled out the dictionary for us. He used big words.
and the day had come. The party was ready to begin their fights in the arena against the number 2 ranked guild. Here they are, up against them, the name, the Loam Riders. Will they defeat them? Will they be beaten by them? And such it went. The battle began. It looked like it was fairly even, but it was not. Soon, 2 party members were down, and the cliffhanger had begun. And you guys are awesome.
Fight me. Let's go.
All right, we're
I
going.
did it too.
You did it too. Yeah. We're gonna go chat dance. Here we go.
Oh man.
Kids like. To me, is this wonderful? Wait, that's not how you do it. How do you do it? I screwed it up. I can't. Oh yeah, it's this way.
It's called the dab. You need to do it correctly.
Oh.
I'm still doing it wrong.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you take it away there. It's StormyD.
You forgot to hit play.
Okay.
And we're gonna add cinnamon and a little
The
extra.
character, she wants pancakes now. Thank you.
There's only one way I'll accept pancakes. Stormer's got to wear the outfit. It's canon. It's the only way I think any one of us can enjoy them.
Later. You soon? So, you guys find yourself that evening dabbing at the inn. No. You find
That
yourselves.
is what Emmeline is doing. She's
Yeah.
dabbing from side to side on the stage.
Oh, he's pretty cool.
Okay.
My Chonkapillar.
Chonkapillar's ass liked him.
The butt.
Chonka butter.
It's a little tiny like X over.
A little anime X for his little bunghole.
The ability to control those undead.
Oh, that's right, because you did that before Bunky
Yeah.
inseminated us.
Alright, and the Bob Ross moment has ended.
Eating my butt, freaking chair. And that deep-throated person over there, the one with the green hair, just kidding.
We were going down ha-ha.
Oh, I didn't mean like that deep. I meant like deep sounding voice. Oops.
Deep what?
He's got a deep voice, guys. That's what I was trying to say. It's true.
Yeah.
Do you have a very deep voice?
I know I do.
It doesn't frustrate you because it's something you can focus your mind on and to help you. I'm going to use the P word, to help you process what you went through. Are you clipping it?
Everyone, get some rest. We'll discuss this later, after I've had some time to think.
It's
And
a lot
process.
to process.
Everything.
Got 3 good clips so far. I'm processing the rest. What a dick! You snuck it in there. You got me to say it. Looks like you have a question, Fern.
Is it the same color, the same blue glow?
Yes.
No, I think if you scroll over their picture on Discord.
Oh, it's only over your own picture. You see it on. Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is the most unconventional D&D stream on Twitch.
The mouse.
How to distract the streamers? Mouse. Oh, he's like my perfect kind of weird. I really like him. I feel like he's the kind of person that would tell Guar it's okay to pee on the tree. And that feels very important to me for some reason. My hair is so heavy today.
Well, you did wash it. It's full of water.
I know.
So stretch, right? Stretch, 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 stretch.
Oh.
Sensors pose.
Oh, okay, now you're showing off. Don't do that. I can't touch my toes.
That is, she can do standing mermaid on one side.
Oh, standing mermaid? Let's see if I can do it in jeans.
Okay.
Foot into elbow. Connect the fingers.
Quick save, quick.
Okay, cool.
It also sometimes does this sound, this random thing. It just happens from time to time. I think it has to do with some sort of decondensation or something. I don't know. It's really weird. But I swear to God, it sounds like an army of masturbating gnomes.
Are you sure they're squirrels, Stormy?
What?
Are you sure they're not masturbating squirrels?
No, I'm
Like,
pretty
on
sure
my
they're.
affiliate stream?
I'm pretty sure they're no.
You know, just a...
It does. It's just this sound. It's this weird sound. But you've proven time and again that your eccentricities are beneficial to not only yourselves, but to the guild and to the land in general. So.
We are so special that he pulled out the dictionary for us. He used big words.
And the day had come. The party was ready to begin their fights in the arena against the number 2 ranked guild. Here they are, up against them. The name, the Loam Riders. Will they defeat them? Will they be beaten by them? And such it went. The battle began. It looked like it was fairly even, but it was not. Soon, 2 party members were down, and the cliffhanger had begun. And you guys are awesome.
Fight me. Let's go.
All right, we're
I
going.
did it too.
You did it too. Yeah. We're gonna go chat dance. Here we go.
Oh, man.
Kids like. To me, is this wonderful? Wait, that's not how you do it. How do you do it? I screwed it up. I can't. Oh yeah, it's this way.
It's called the dab. You need to do it correctly.
Oh.
I'm still doing it wrong.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you take it away there. itsStarkitty.
You forgot to hit play.
Okay.
And we're gonna add cinnamon.
The character, she wants pancakes now. Thank you.
There's only one way I'll accept pancakes. Stormer's got to wear the outfit. It's canon. It's the only way I think any one of us can enjoy them.
Later. You soon? So, you guys find yourself that evening dabbing at the inn. No. You find
That
yourselves.
is what Emmeline is doing. She's
Yeah.
dabbing from side to side on the stage.
Oh, he's pretty cool.
Okay.
My chonka pillar, Chonkapillar's
Chonkapillar's ass liked him.
The butt.
Chonka butter.
It's a little tiny like X.
A little anime X for his little bunghole.
The ability to control those undead.
Oh, that's right, because you did that before Bunky inseminated us.
Alright, and the Bob Ross moment
Stop
ended.
eating my butt, freaking chair. And that deep-throated person over there, the one with the green hair, just kidding.
We were going down ha-ha.
Oh, I didn't mean like that deep. I meant like deep sounding voice. Oops.
Deep what?
He's got a deep voice, guys. That's what I was trying to say. It's true.
Yeah.
Do you have a very deep voice?
I know I do.
It doesn't frustrate you because it's something you can focus your mind on and to help you. I'm going to use the P word, to help you process what you went through. Are you clipping it?
Everyone, get some rest. We'll discuss this later, after I've had some time to think.
It's
And
a lot
process.
to process.
Everything.
Hi guys, we're back again. I just couldn't let the puppers pets not be witnessed by you guys.
See, it's Sindri and Lyle right now.
Right?
I think you're a bit more furry. Yes?
So one of the reasons why
You've also
so
got gunk in your eye.
before we came back a second ago, guys, the team was asking me how I was doing, if we could keep going, and I'm like, yes, for sure. Because obviously there's still some more RP with Avalyn and Avery, and also because you all still haven't after the RP, the chat, it'll be interesting to see Sindri try and play some pet games with Lyle. So, I'm sorry, I'm just feeling a little emotional.
I don't know.
I'm very grateful. Like earlier, something you said, Fate, when about how I've been playing with Stormy how long, and just the fact that you know me so well, and that you guys shared your concern, and were willing to even preempt today. I just really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck you, I'm gonna chain you to that desk and you'll be on DM.
And I appreciate all you folks watching. I'm sorry, the cough and the exhaustion has me so exhausted today. I'm feeling a little overly emotional.
Thank you for the follow, Spirit Pencil.
Thank you. Arigato gozaimasu.
Love your name, by the way.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Spirit pencil. Is that like?
I'm sorry if I made
man.
BT uncomfortable there.
No, I just saw an opportunity to tell you I'm gonna chain you to your desk.
Damn, both of you. Fucking stop.
We're on a break!
Dang it, now the emergency's got the cough going. All right, we're good.
Brother.
I found the wig. I actually found it.
Did you?
Yep.
Oh,
The boy stashed it in the electrical cupboard.
I love it.
I'm presuming that was the time that he came back with a fully black face because it was right at the back of the electrical cupboard.
Interesting. Probably that little stinker.
Do we?
I also found some more dreads that I'd apparently stashed to one side.
The Theraflu. I need one that has antihistamine. Histamine in it.
Some kind of an antihistamine?
Yeah. Not the nighttime one, the daytime one.
Do you want me to make you that?
Oh, that's right. It's a drink, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Holy crap, that's cool. What in the actual F?
It's the mad habit.
I mean, he's mad, and he's wearing a hat, so it fits.
I would put it over the headphones, but it doesn't work. It will not fit up.
I was gonna say, oh my god.
When she rolls back that far and she's sitting perched, it's hilarious to me how much. But I'm glad that she found something that makes her comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I think it's cool. Excuse me. Be right back. Man, I was doing so good at the end of the break.
I love that hat. Bobo hated it because it was my ex-fiance that bought it for me.
How about the cold and flu one?
Oh, yeah.
What? Sorry,
Yes,
guys.
Karen.
I appreciate your patience. Just a sec.
Very good.
Yeah,
Kill
you
these
can't take
dreams
away
of
my
Teresa.
pillows.
Antihistamine.
Yeah. Boo-hoo, Kieran.
Sure.
And has taken them.
Yeah, he has.
It was truly spectacular when you two got the swap seats. That we actually saw what height she's supposed to be.
If you can
And
just.
also, there's
instead of
also
using the
quite
pot,
the interesting dynamic
is it supposed to be hot?
Even though we're sitting
doing,
next to each other, we're slightly bladed, so she is still
seconds
very
away.
much closer to the camera than I am.
Yep.
And I'm not
You
really
can
a
tell.
big guy. I'm not that big.
We're the same height as me, aren't you?
5'9".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Why
is
is
amusing because I always
Peely
thought you were taller
trapped?
than
Is
me.
that what we're
That's
talking
just
about
'cause
right
the
now?
short one.
Huh?
Spirit Pencil asked, "Why is Peely trapped?" Is that what you guys were talking about?
Oh, Peely.
Mhm.
Because I'm Banana Tom and he's cable tied to my microphone.
And that makes sense.
And there's also this big guy here.
Oh
Oh,
god. And there's that.
There's Deadpool. There's another Peely. And then there's another Deadpool.
and for other props, we got Merrik over there has a couple of different echoes, and Druid has a multitude of pine cones.
I do.
Look at how much he's
What a
grown.
big chunky one, yeah. Wow, look at him. They're so cute. Oh my god,
That giant-
the pine cone's bigger than the owls put together.
Pine cone's bigger than her head.
Actually, similar in size.
Yeah,
How
close.
big is the pinecone collection? Don't ask. We'll be here far longer than Stormy is willing to talk.
Yeah.
If you want to see all that.
Show you a basket of pine cones that I have on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
I just put a bunch of my pine cones. Oh, are you making it?
Oh wow, DeMarco, that's an interesting idea for another druid character. Is
Pinecone bombs.
they use pinecone bombs? I like that.
Yes, I'm flapping
I
his
hate
leg.
that I actually know how to make those.
Pine
Wait, they're a
cones?
real thing?
They are.
Hmm.
They're an incendiary device.
Yeah.
They're also very fucking cool and never show Druid how to make them.
I have a.
And she's like, that's fine. That's what the oracle's for. I mean, Google's
She's a
for.
pine cone and a firebug.
Band with the Banter talked about how he used to catch stuff on fire when I was a teenager.
Yeah, that's why I said you're a firebug.
Speaking of catching something on fire, I feel like that's the reason why pine cone studded armor would be a bad idea.
Especially if there's still sap on it and stuff. It's very flammable.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty sappy armor.
I was watching a video about how you could use
Thank you.
pineapple skins as like a fire shield because I guess pineapple
I
skins.
saw that same video.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that cool a bit. Alrighty.
I'll stick with the
Yeah, 15
fire
minutes.
suit that people wear going into extremely hot places. You
Supposed
can
to
have your
burn my
pineapple
mouth?
suit. Then pineapple apple
Yeah.
burn.
That's really hot. And you only did it for 80 seconds? Wow. All right.
Got
Something to
apple,
consider, make redeems
got a
for
pen.
D&D. What sort of redeems?
apple pen.
I think we've talked about that. Like, give people advantage or,
But that would mean we'd have to pay attention to chat.
yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate the
But the
thought,
thing is-
Gato, but
If you had it as a ping up on screen, you technically wouldn't need to. Because we all stare at screen. And we see your stream, your OBS scene, because it's your virtual cam that we see, isn't it?
Yeah. There, we could consider it. We'll think about it.
okay.
If
Yeah.
you wanted to go down that route.
Exactly, shark mode. No, I appreciate the thought. We just the reason why we've done it this way for so long is our original intent was to make it like as close to you're here at the table with us as possible, and so that's why we do the chat dark thing. I know it's different. I mean, I guess Jotun does the same thing. He goes basically chat dark. He's actually even more about it than we are because we'll at least call out raiders, right? But yeah, we love you, Jotun.
He calls out raiders.
He
I
does.
think
Well,
more
he
than
does
anything, he just waits for
text-wise.
his
He
moment.
won't say anything though. Yeah.
I guess it depends on what time you catch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they're in the middle of RP and stuff, they won't acknowledge until like after.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, Flightless Bird. He's
Hello, penguin.
Penguin Lord.
Penguin.
You're penguin.
Inkling.
Yeah, I appreciate you, buddy. I do.
I
I
know
do.
exactly.
We will consider it.
Yeah.
Like honestly, we want to evolve and make people happy too. So, all right. I think I'm ready to get into it again. The chest and throat have calmed down for at least a little while. I think we're still just in question and answer period with Avalon and the enthralled Avery. In fact, this is a good moment that Avery does this, kind of chimes in and goes, "Oh wow, you know what? That's sort of no. Remember what you guys are talking about? I remember now one of the stories I heard that seemed ridiculous to me, and I just kind of blew it off. He said that Avery says, I believe I knew a runner who claimed he was such one of those kind of people that just exaggerates everything. So I didn't believe very much that came out of his mouth. But he claimed he used to be high up in Omega Corp as a wage slave, and he was privy to some interesting information that one of the rumors out there in Progentica is that the King of Midnight is what that person is known by in Haunt Home, but the rumor is that he's actually Chairman Blackfall of the Blackfall Syndicate itself. That's just a rumor, and it seems kind of ridiculous. I mean, how could he be, in Haunt Home and still be a CEO running an Omega Corp in Progentica at the same time? It seems kind of,
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying. However, runners should us.
Hold that thought. While you're speaking, I do want to hear what you have to say, but I just want to share with you guys who has a perception of 15 or higher? The ones who have a perception of 15 or higher, notice that when Avery says that, Avalyn's eyes kind of go a little wide. She's obviously got a really bad poker face.
When you're done, I have.
Yeah, my passive insight is 18.
Wow.
So there's no way I didn't see that.
Passive insight or passive perception?
My passive perception is 15. My passive insight is 18.
Yeah, but that's not an insight. Like, that's a perception you would see in the middle of a conversation and reading somebody. I mean, I sort of get what you're saying, that it can also be sort of. I would argue that insight is what you try and interpret from when you see somebody's facial reactions, but you still have to see them first. And at any rate, so I shared with you the details, and Shae and Merrik are the only ones who noticed it. And now you were going to say something, Merrik.
I mean, I understand how there could potentially be some confusion on arguably being in two places at once. However, as it's already been stated, he doesn't stay here indefinitely, much like we don't stay on Barbary Worlds indefinitely. So it would not shock me that he could be both.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm getting an echo coming back from Stormy. I don't know if chat can hear that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can hear Fate's voice coming back through you by looking at Discord.
That's interesting.
I don't hear it.
Chat, can you hear an echo?
And not this one.
It's only when Fate talks. You must have just the right tone of voice that it's echoing back.
Wow.
So, so you're only hearing him echo, or you're only hearing me echo when he's talking?
I hear Fate echoing from your side, Stormy.
Oh, that makes sense.
I can tell it's your side because Discord is triggering the light.
Yeah, so that's because, he has a voice that, even though he's soft-spoken, when he's projecting properly, that the deepness of his voice is very. The mic is very, I haven't been able to get that out completely. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's ironic because it picks him up better than Druid, as far as the my. Setting up the sound so that our lapel mics don't pick up the speakers as much. So don't change what you're doing. I'll just try and adjust.
I can't hear it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Kieran's saying
That's all I was bothered about.
Yeah, Kieran says he doesn't hear it either, to be honest. So we're good.
No worries. Thank you for sharing something though, BT. You know me and audio issues. All right, go ahead, Merrik.
Yeah, so it doesn't surprise me that he could potentially do both things.
Do either of you say anything to the other team about what you saw and the reaction from one? Or do either of you, whether you say something to the team or directly to Avalyn?
Well, Shae notices and she goes,
She'd be confused by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Merrik could clearly take note. I don't think it's understandably that we're treading very carefully on some information. It's not worth really going, except the moment.
What do you know?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to change the subject.
Avalyn says, of course, whatever you all want to speak about. Again, my goal here is to not only just to educate, but to build a relationship.
Thyra, you had a thought?
Why are you so open to building a relationship with us?
Well,
You don't know us.
Mr. Midnight speaks highly of you, first of all, and I trust his counsel. And I love your auras.
What
I'd
do you
imagine
mean?
it's something to do with being on a dead world as well.
What do you mean by our auras?
Well, I've been around a long time, and I've learned a lot of magic, and gained a lot of abilities. One of the gifts that has awakened in me over time is that I can see magical things without having to cast any kind of spell, but I can also kind of see the aura of living and undead peoples. It's one of the reasons why I'm able to find the husks like myself. We have a very unique aura.
Surely.
Interesting. So you have an understanding of a deep understanding of magic, clearly. So much, kind of what I'd mentioned earlier. Out of curiosity, what can you tell me about this? And I do show her the effigy. The peoples in, or rather the denizens of Grey Dawn had mentioned it was a relic from the past that no longer arguably no longer functions the way previously, at least in some way, because the gods don't particularly exist in the way that they used to, something like that. What is rather strange, and I also kind of want to circle back to it, I've had two things here so far that make this place rather fucky for me, is your Lyle somehow passed my alarm spell. Very strange. Curious about that.
Interesting, really?
Yes. I guess he may have been in Sindri's backpack. However, I did not designate him or it, as a welcome guest in that space. So arguably I should have known immediately, but I didn't, which is weird.
She scratches her head and says, well then, Lyle, you really have taken quite a liking to Sindri, haven't you? Naughty little boy. I would say that Lyle has bonded with Sindri in a way that mimics the properties or parameters of a familiar. I've never heard of a familiar being a familiar of two different mages, but we're all learning new things all the time. Maybe that's the case. If he basically, if my this is just my hypothesis, but my hypothesis is that if for some reason, you obviously would have given free roam to Sindri within the alarm spell, and if somehow or another the way that Lyle was bonded with him mimicked the mystical energy signature of a familiar, then the alarm spell would just see him as Sindri. That's one theory. Another is just that, Lyle has some unique properties. He's done quite a few interesting things in the centuries that we've been together.
Fair. I don't like that. Weirds me out. But I also say I'm usually pretty adept at identifying things. and I can't quite identify this. Now, my question to you is, being that you say you're from an alternate version of Haunt, as you call it, I wonder if you can identify this.
If you'll allow me.
Beyond.
She takes it.
All I know is it's divine, and it's expertly crafted.
She looks at it. So I don't know a lot about this particular version of Haunt's variation in history. If the people of the village of Grey Dawn indicated that it's an ancient divine relic from the prehistory of the apocalypse, then perhaps that's really all it is. He identifies it and says, I do find it fascinating that I can't identify what its properties are, other than it exudes divine magic. I can see why you are perplexed by this. It is quite fascinating.
Now,
she hands it back to you.
I have a... You okay over here?
My chair is being funky right now. It's
Somebody
fine.
nearly
Ignore
went
me.
flat on their back.
I literally did almost die. It's not locking.
And you probably have to you probably bumped the lever.
It's fine.
Okay.
Carry on.
Do you take the relic back?
Oh, yeah. Now,
she says, I suspect that it is an effigy of a long gone god of this world. And if I had to guess, again, just a hypothesis, the only reason why it's exuding any kind of magic at all right now is probably because of Avery. And Avery's like... And Ellen says, let me explain.
No, wait, let me sum up.
As you all may know, what'd you say?
let me sum up.
Okay, yeah.
Follow me.
As you all may know, the history of this world is such that when the cataclysm happened, it nearly destroyed the world and turned it upside down into this dark, undead place. The gods vanished. And so my hypothesis is basically that in the rare instances when realm runners from Progentica, who happen to be attuned to the primordial forces of the lattice, attuned to whatever manifested deity that they have sworn an oath to, since she is here, she sort of gives it a fuel, as it were, but not enough for it to actually have any kind of effect. However, I find it fascinating that this effigy, again, you found it in the village? They give it to you, or?
No, I found it behind a bookshelf.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
they said they had no more need of it, so in a way they did give it to us.
It
Okay.
also made it pure silver.
Yes, I can see that. What I find fascinating is that you have this special, unique kind of familiar yourself that's an owl spirit. And you found this divine silver owl. So it's also possible that the reason why it's activated is because of you, or even Echo. It's something you might want to explore further and see how it reacts when you take it back to Progentica.
I had a particular thought about that. I know the citizens of Grey Dawn, mentioned it was a relic from the past. I also understand that certain things don't quite work the same way when they're from another world. per se, whether the Argentica or Valion or what have you.
Yes.
So it also begs the question of perhaps this actually isn't originated from here.
She says, "Oh, that is a distinct possibility too.
And
Maybe from one of the other Bobbery worlds, or maybe even Progentic itself."
and it's been a long time, you know. Interesting. And you recognize it as divine magic
Yes.
as well. Now, in an interesting way, do you think there could be a potential way to, I think the best way to say it is, look at it like a storage device, much like my Pearl of Power. And if it is charged with divine energy, it might give more information.
Perhaps. Of course, divine magic is not my expertise at all, so you would want to consult with someone who is an expert in that kind of magic. But I think it's a valid hypothesis, even better than mine. You are quite the genius, aren't you?
Sure. I'm quite adept at studying. Avery, we're gonna have some conversations later. Just you wait.
Avery's she's like, thumbs up.
Good luck, Avery.
Now, the other part to that is it's very clear Avery is divine in more than one way. Anyway, you're kind, okay? It's you're a delight to be around. You've been very helpful with us. I don't look at it. You know what? Leave me alone.
Are you blushing, Merrik?
No, actually, I'm just embarrassed. Not quite. It's not what I meant.
Sure.
Shay has a
Sindri
It's not what I meant.
prestidigitations his
clarifying
notebook.
question.
What'd you say, Sindri?
Sindri prestidigitations his little notebook out, mimicking what Merrik does.
All right.
Shay has a clarifying question. I think that's the right phrase. So Miss Avalon, you said you've been here for 27 years, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Shae, I'm gonna circle back to that. However, I will say you mentioned that it's either because it's Avery giving off divine magic, or me and Echo. Problem with that is I'm not a divine being. I don't understand divine magic the same way. I understand magic. I understand divine magic, but I don't resonate with it. And familiars are mostly fey.
She says, "I beg to differ with you. You may not resonate with it in the way that you express magic, but for you to have secured the spirit owl means you do resonate quite well with divinity, as it were."
See, the problem, I'm not going to discount what you're saying. The interesting thing is that, by my counts, it's not divine. I mean, when you see something shift from a dragon creature into an owl, that's nothing, that's got to be fey.
She
I
says,
have not
"So
seen
you
anything else."
witnessed a dragon turn into this owl?"
It was more of a fever dream, and then I found the owl. And it
So you had a
became my
vision,
familiar.
but I feel like you're making a logical, jumping to conclusions. I don't want to put upon you in any way, but I'm quite confident that your owl is more than just a normal familiar. It's a spirit animal of some kind.
That hurts my brain. I have a lot to think about. I have another question.
Yes, of course.
Oh God! Sometimes I feel like I speak to this party a little too much, but alas, here we are. You said you've been here for, as Shae had mentioned, 27 years. Interesting. And you said you were experimenting, and your experiment brought you to this iteration of your homeworld, the font, this hot home. Can you tell me more about that experience?
She thinks for a moment and says, well, it was very deeply personal. And although, of course I want, my goal is to become good friends with you all, but I feel like that's not something I'm quite ready to talk about, if you don't mind. But I will reserve that for the future, if that's all right with you.
Were you experimenting on something that may have brought you here?
Yes, I was experimenting on actually how to travel to other planes and universes of existence.
Oh.
Sindri?
If it helps lubricate the gears any, would it change anything if I said that there's a few members of the party that are 27?
She's like, what do you mean? Is this some sort of numerology thing?
Well, you said it was 27 years ago you came here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only going to speak for myself here. I'm 27, exactly.
As am I.
Now you guys see Avery's eyes light up again.
As are we all. Avery, maybe not as much.
I just didn't want to include all of you without your permission first, so I figured that was the way to say it.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate it, but you could have just said all of us are except Avery, but
Well,
I appreciate the candor.
Avery says, to be clear, I'm not I'm not 27. I'm 34.
It's on her character sheet. She says it's 188 years old.
Right, okay. I'm 188 in elf years. Thank you for reminding me.
You know what, Thyra? That's usually I'm gonna do what you said. Not appropriate.
No, it was perfectly appropriate. Thank you for correcting me.
I mean,
I thought
you're
in
not supposed
character
to
you
ask
saw
a
a
lady about
character
her
sheet.
age in that way.
But the thing is,
I'm just saying.
They don't identify as a lady.
I keep
Also,
calling her
in
that too,
character,
don't I?
you've seen her character sheet.
There's a big reason why Shae always refers to her as Avery instead of Mr. or Mrs.
Yeah.
I am so sorry, guys. I need to do better. And that's the reason why I created this character, because I want practice doing better.
Yes, we've all quite experienced a lot of interesting things. I would ask you if an Ouroboros really means anything to you, but you're familiar enough with Progentica and the Syndicate that it probably might have a different meaning to you. But
She says, well, Ouroboros is a kind of a multiversal symbol for lots of different concepts. But you're right. The Ouroboros does seem to have unique significance throughout the lattice.
thanks.
To be honest, it's one of my future research projects, but I have other things that take priority right now. I will share one other detail that I probably shouldn't be, but since we're all kind of laying most of our cards on the table, one of the things that my nation of Necropostophon does, beyond just trying to find other husks out there in the world, is to be a buffer for New Haven. Because there are a lot more undead nations out there in the vastness of this world than New Haven realizes. And so we try and marshal our forces to make sure that those, and to be clear, I'm not talking about the life forms that have any kind of life or radiance or goodness. I'm talking about truly vile, the stereotypical death knights and vampires, ghouls, and all the things that go bump in the night and want to tear the flesh of the living.
You mean like trolls?
Well, that's a different thing. Those don't organize much. They're just mostly wandering random monsters most of the time. But one of the things that my nation does is we try and become a buffer. And so right now, one of my big projects is a particularly nasty ghoul nest. It's been a pill to deal with. So it's taken a lot of my time and my forces' time.
Need fire?
What'd you say?
Need fire?
She says, well, perhaps when you all have a bit more experience under your belt, I might call upon you for that.
Fire's fire, love.
Well, I will share something with you that I discovered in my travels.
Oh.
And Merrik will sketch out a rough idea on the dragon effigy and Ouroboros that sent him to the Supernal.
Okay.
I have spent some time on Velion and have done extensive research on in Pagentica. I don't know much about it, but this might help you in your endeavors.
He says, thank you. This drawing, it looks very much like the descriptions that Mr. Midnight shared with me of devices that Realm Runners use to travel here. But it's a bit more crude and raw than what he described. Perhaps, in the future, when we become closer friends and I share more with you all, you would be willing to share more of that with me.
I'll be honest, this is all I know.
Thyra makes an obvious
Right.
Out of character, technically, that's all I know about this effigy. Being straight to that.
Your effigy?
Yeah.
Oh, because my thought was broad because you've seen all of our effigies that we've all.
I was the only one that had the dragon statue. Like the statue of the
that's
dragon.
true. Mine was in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's was a little bit different.
A little different.
Which
mine
kind
was
of
a dragon
matched
statue.
their world. So she says, what I find fascinating is that you all are the same age as at least roughly, the same age as the time that I came here. Can't be a coincidence. And Avery's like, Avery's like nodding her head.
I agree. It's quite confusing. Honestly, I've kind of bottled that up and stuffed it way, way deep down because, you know.
She says,
Weird.
well, how about this? We'll make a promise to you all that, of course, as is in the contract, I will protect your secrets and your identities and everything. And on top of that, I will do a little bit of my own research on the side to see if I can find out if there's some significance in you all having the same age. I mean, if it is true that Mr. Midnight recruited the four of you, and you all are roughly the same age as the time that I've been here, there must be some reason. I will some conversations with him the next time that I see him. And perhaps I will get some answers out of him. You all know how cagey he can be sometimes.
Now, Mr. Shae says hello,
I will.
and that she is not a disappointment.
Can't imagine why Mr. Midnight would think that.
You'll understand.
Oh, an inside joke then.
Sindri?
I have a couple of questions if you're done, Merrik.
For now, I'm sure you'll say
I
something that will
assume
make
for
me.
now.
Yeah.
He'll take notes on his questions as you're speaking.
Oh, your book. No, all right. You realise
Opens it
that's
up.
a spell, yeah? Anyway, first question. And BT's forgotten her name.
Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Evelyn,
question for
A-V-A-L-Y-N. Go ahead.
Just out of curiosity, what do you know about dragons? If anything at all, I'm just trying to accumulate some kind of knowledge about them.
She says, well, to be honest, I'm sorry. The little legends that I know are from my haunt world. On my haunt world, the dragons during the apocalypse, during the cataclysm, left the planet. They flew off the planet. From what I understand, the legends of this world are similar. But they existed long before I came up. And so very little information exists about them other than the average kind of, legends of dragons that you can imagine. I find it quite fascinating that Mr. Midnight tells me that the Omega Corps are run by dragons. That's quite interesting. I hope to one day go to Progentica and meet them.
Yes, it all seems a little bit iffy. I can't think of a better word right now.
She says, I can see why you would say that.
Again, when we meet again and we're a bit more friendly, I might explain why I went on to that point a bit more later. But as you say, we still don't fully know each other yet. And my second question is for yourself and Avery as well, if you know anything about this. Just out of curiosity, I had heard the rumors of the adventurer hunter or something along those lines. He was killing realm runners or something like that.
They were calling him the Butcher.
Avery says, oh yes, the Death Stalker, also known as the Butcher, yes.
That's the sticky wicket.
Evelyn's like, oh, I'm not privy to all the things that go on with realm runners, and to be honest, I have not heard of that. That's a bit terrifying. A serial killer realm runner of realm runners? Well, I hope you all be extra careful, Evelyn says. And Avery says, she just kind of nods.
I just figured I'd ask the question with people who are I've got a reasonable trust of.
Evelyn says, I'm sorry that I don't know more. I wish I could tell you more. Avery? And Avery says, well, just the stories that I shared with you all and that you might have heard, that if you see this person, don't try and face him. Don't try and ambush him. Don't try and trick him. Try and communicate with him. Just run. Is what Avery says.
Thank you.
Did you hear that, Merrik?
I think that's all I've got for now.
How about you, Shae?
Jay does have other questions, but it's probably for a different time.
Of course. Thyra?
I feel that my questions are the same as Shae's, and that they are for another time.
She says, well, after I, of course, once you all go back, you'll make your report to the Blackball Syndicate, and of course I will make my report back to them as well, including what I shared about your extra reward. Perhaps we could consider. She said, "Thinks. Let me think of my schedule."
Undead Horde at 3 o'clock.
She says, "In a few months, I will have a little bit of free time. I'm confident that some of my projects will have concluded. Probably not that ghoul nest yet, but I think that if you all would like, we could try and, I could make a note with the syndicate that we would like to have a follow-up meeting with us, and at that point, we could kind of try and schedule it if you all would like to do that."
That is acceptable. I just want to clarify to make sure that we are all on the same page when it does come to us making our report. The syndicate is aware that it was Necropostophon that we have connected with. So if we say that...
That I would ask, and it's up to you, you don't have to. I can make do. I would ask that you pretend that you are not knowledgeable about your client. I was not supposed to spill that information. Again,
That
it
is
would
why
have been...
I wanted to check.
Yes, thank you for asking. It's up to you. I don't want to ask you all to lie. So if somebody directly asks you, then please do what you feel is right in your heart. But if you don't mind leaving that part out of the report, I would appreciate it.
I have no qualms with not giving that information to anybody in the syndicate. I do not trust them.
Avery, is that okay with you?
Avery's like, she's like, this has been so overwhelmingly wonderful. She's like, I all I want to do is make sure that you all will call upon me again in the future. And so I will keep your secrets to my grave.
That is good to hear.
Unsurprising, I have another question.
May I just double check a couple of clarifications before you?
Fair enough. You had a long pause like I usually do. So.
Yes, I appreciate you're not just jumping in. We're learning our communication styles. It's quite pleasant. Thank you.
Also, picking up each other's pauses is a bit weird.
Picking up each other's closets?
Pauses.
Oh.
Oh, Druid is blanking out. Hold on.
You said clarification questions?
8 out of 10 cats.
I didn't hear a word you said.
What
You
was
might.
8 out of 10 cats?
Oh no, that was Countdown.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 cats does countdown.
Countdown was the program before. 8 out of 10 cats was two separate programs.
Okay, but they use the same sound. And now it's
Yeah,
stuck in my
because they
head.
took it from Countdown.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes.
Remember, so you may go ahead. That was just me completely blanking. I'll remember it hopefully, but go ahead.
So I also understand if you decline to answer this at this time. Understood. Respect it. However, if you don't travel between the Barbary worlds or to Pagentica, honestly, we are told not to talk to anybody other than fellow realm runners. To
She
be
says-
fair.
I believe in the contracts. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have interrupted. Go ahead.
How is it that you really got connected with the Syndicate? Is it purely because of Mr. Midnight? I mean, I feel like is a rather obvious answer, but so far you're the only one that is housed on a Barbary world that we have met that is aware of us or of realm running and traveling.
She says, yes, of course. That's understandable. The truth of it is that Mr. Midnight has shared a great deal with me because he felt it was pertinent information that would be important for me to know to help me govern my people and protect them best. And plus, since I am rather unique, since I come from a different multiverse, it was one of the rare instances when he was completely forthcoming.
Fair enough.
Or mostly forthcoming. You never know.
Probably most absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of strange. Have you met other realm runners? I imagine you have.
She says, I have used a few before, used a few, but I have not met them personally.
Got it.
You all were the
So
first
the
ones that piqued my interest. Plus, my relationship with Grey Dawn is very important to me. I was worried about them.
Were you the one that sent the soldiers to check on the place?
Yes, I sent a platoon of Steves.
Interesting.
They're dead.
And no, we didn't steal that from you, BT. She called her skeletons.
It's still just triggering me to giggle every time.
I get it. I get it.
Out of
Dungeon of
character
Steves.
in that previous campaign, she had skeleton Steves, she had zombie Franks.
Well, that's where the whole Steve thing came from in Guards, wasn't it? It started
Yeah.
with you, and then I abducted them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Into your basement.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And they became undead because I didn't feed them.
So yeah, as to what would happen to them, I guess I didn't give that in the brief. I guess I kind of did. They ate them. Probably not. There's a good chance they probably didn't like the taste, but they are definitely dead. Well, probably dead. Sorry.
Add a character, you lost me.
Well, they're not quite alive, but they're not quite dead.
Who are you
So saying
talking
that
about?
they're dead.
The Steves.
It's the Steves.
Oh, the Steves. she confirmed. Oh yes, they were undead, but they were led by they were led by a rare sentient style skeleton.
I thought you were going to say Sentient Steve.
Sentient Steve, yeah.
What was he called? Jobs?
True. It's a rare. So most of the skeletons and zombies that I raise are, mindless, like the mindless hordes that wander the land of Honholm. Although, when I raise them, their necromantic signature is a bit different. The necromantic energy signature is a bit different. Probably because I'm not an awful evil via monster. But sometimes, owing to the special properties of this world, a Steve or a Frank will eventually, or not eventually, sometimes a special one will evolve out of them, and they will regain a bit of the memories and sentience from when they were a living person. And not actually memories of being alive, but more like memories of how to speak, of language and such, and critical thinking. And so I, of course, single those out and have them become the leaders of the different platoons and companies and such.
Well, it, most likely dead.
Oh, she says. That's thank you for sharing that. That was something about the report that I meant to ask you about. That's quite sad to me.
Gone. I think they tried to eat him, and I think they got upset about it and probably didn't like the taste. So they're probably just bits. Sorry.
Well, you have no reason to apologize. You weren't here.
Well, it seems a little insensitive. They are your creations, and just casually call them dead, even though they kind of are, kind of not. It's all a bit weird to me. I'm sorry.
Don't mind his ramblings. He does this when he's uncomfortable.
You had a question, Shae?
Oh, I was just gonna say same things along the lines of Mr. Merrik. They're probably all bones now. Broken bones.
Well,
Rest in peace, Steves.
to be honest, I had assumed that was probably the case when they never returned. So, which is why I put this expedition together.
Fair enough.
Well, I feel like we've shared a lot with each other, perhaps a bit too much, but I don't mind if it'll help you see me and my people in a different light. To me, we're building bridges, and maybe friendships even. And I look forward to speaking with you all again. And if you all end up having some more questions and such, make sure you write them down, and we can talk about it the next time. In the meantime, Sindri, would you like to try some of the puppy tricks to play with Lyle? I think you will be quite entertained.
I mean, I was just gonna throw the thing for him. I know Shae wanted to try something different.
Oh, I wanted to see Lyle play dead.
She says, well, I bet you would respond more to Sindri at first. Maybe once he gets to know you a little bit better, he might. But if he's bonded with Sindri, it's more likely that he would be willing to take on the play commands from Sindri.
I'm not going to ask that question. Asking a dog about playing dead, it seems a bit weird. Play dead.
All right. So you tell him to play dead. He jumps up and starts popping up and down and running around like he's really happy and excited and energized. He's jumping on 2 legs.
He knows what dead is.
She says, yes. So now tell him to play alive.
Oh, play alive.
He flops over. He's just lying there completely still.
Yep.
Hey.
Try and play fetch with him. Pick a stick or something.
Works again. Grabs the axe.
But don't pick something that will come back to your hand. Pick a stick. I'll be honest, this particular game you might find annoying, but I find it quite comical. You find a stick nearby.
Goes and finds a stick. Yeet stick not very far because strength is a bit of an issue.
Right. I know you have an average strength of 10, right? That's average. That's average strength.
Half size arms.
Yeah. So do you say go fetch?
Go get it.
He runs over to it and wags his little butt and looks at it, and then looks at you, and then looks at it, and then looks at you, and then he runs back over to you and starts pulling on your pant leg.
Wait, he didn't bring it back?
No, he's trying to bring you to the stick.
That's not how this works, mate.
You say that to him.
I
and
don't want it, you do.
He nods his head like.
This is like talking to Thyra about magic.
He's come a long way. Okay.
You're killing me, Small.
Him or her?
Thyra has come a long way in understanding a lot of things.
Oh, okay. Don't hurt me.
She might.
Nah, she won't.
All right, what was the last one? There was one other one.
I'm still waiting for that sense of humor to come back.
Oh.
I know it's there somewhere.
Roll over.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think I remember that one. Tell him to roll over.
Roll over.
Maybe I remember. He starts. He doesn't roll over sideways like a regular dog would. He starts rolling like somersault.
Yeah, he's somersault.
Head over back. He basically turns himself into a little spinning cheese wheel, just rolling down, and then he'll roll back to you the same way.
Credit where credit's due. I couldn't do that.
So
wait, actually, you know, I could. I probably could do that.
she says, before she leaves, she says, "Well, before I leave, are there any other questions that you all have?" And
Shae does have one more question, and it has to do with Lyle.
mm-hmm.
If Lyle has bonded with Mr. Sindri, is it possible that Lyle can come back to Progentica with us?
Well, you see, before I left, I was going to ask you. He seems to really like you. If you would like him to join you on your adventures, I would be happy to let him go on his own excursions with new friends. If that is something that you would be interested in, but no pressure.
Well, Shae was wondering if that's actually even possible to come back with us.
She said,
I was thinking
Probably.
the same on that. Mainly for the Progentica reason. More than anything.
well,
And that leads
don't
into
see
another
it.
question.
she says, I suppose if you hide him in your backpack and you make your jaunt back to Progentica, he'll either be there or won't. And if he is, just keep him hidden until you get home or whatever.
My issue is they have a way of seeing everything that we've done.
Oh, I understand what you're talking about, but I can guarantee you, he does not show up on any kind of magical detection of any kind.
That'd make sense for Merrik's spell.
That's a good point. That might have been why he got past the the alarm spell.
Well, we'll see. Now,
To be fair, I mean, to be
if
honest,
he
we
shows
already-
up, is there a... Does he need cream or something?
She's like, no, pet him. You will see. He doesn't feel as awful as he looks. He feels kind of like soft leather boot, a good old leather boot.
So it's gonna lead to my next question. How do we hide that he is not dead but not alive at the same time?
Well, if you do let him come with you and live with you for a while in Progentica, I would recommend that you keep him hidden from prying eyes on that well. You'll probably get away with him on any of the other Barbary ones. Maybe not Velion, but
I think for his and our safety, we should probably leave him here.
I was gonna
As
say.
soon as they find out that there's an immortal creature, they are going to confiscate that. They are going. Listen, we
And
are
no doubt probably lock us up.
That's why Shae has this special harness that Milo's true identity. And you were right, Miss Avalyn. He is a cat dragon. Unless Mr. Sindri, we can find something similar to this harness, like as a collar for him to wear, then that could hide his identity.
Yeah, I just don't.
We already, not to say we're on thin ice, but we're already playing quite a lot close to the chest. However, given the nature of his wandering far enough away from you, I'm sure that the next time we're back here in Hot Home, we'll probably be seeing Lyle again.
So that would give us some time to see if we can find something like my harness for him.
and it helps Sindri decide if that's something that he actually wants. I don't want to force Lyle on you. Obviously he wants to, but he's a good soul, so to speak.
Yeah, I think it's better he stays here for now anyway.
He says, "I understand, and honestly, I would miss him terribly. So,
But knowing how fast that little guy is, I'm pretty sure if they did try and confiscate him, he'd find a way out.
So that's why I wasn't too worried
Way out,
about
though.
Yeah. But you all have a valid point that even if they can't confiscate him, it's entirely possible that it might hurt your reputation or put you in jeopardy. So I respect your decision 100%. Well,
Yes.
I hope you will be coming by more often to visit, at least.
As we become more friends and we share some of our secrets, I'm sure you'll understand why.
Of course. Thank you. Well then, Lyle. Looks like you don't get to go on a big adventure, but that's all right. Lyle kind of looks a little bit dejected, and she says, "Come along now." And he looks happy again. He comes over and jumps up in your lap, Sindri, and like does that thing sometimes that dogs do, where they're like rolling over in your lap. And like he's marking you with his scent, and although he doesn't stink like other undead things do, and then he jumps down, gives you a look, and then runs over to help you. And then as he jumps up into her arms, you see a staff suddenly appear in her hand that wasn't there before. And she teleports away.
That's an ability I like.
Thyra just turns and looks at Merrik.
Yeah, it just got this like inquisitive scowl, like
I want to learn that.
Merrik, is that similar to how you produce Echo? Or I don't know.
What she
That's the
just did.
closest. Well, summoning the staff, not the disappearing afterwards.
Oh. Perhaps there are quite a few. I mean, I know there are some spells that can conjure objects in a way, much like a.
I'm gonna let you both roll an arcane knowledge check. 2.
I know the answer. I'm just wondering if Merrik would draw the conclusion.
Maybe.
I'll
He's got enough.
I'll roll it in there.
Yeah. You too, Sindri. You get a
arcane.
shot too. Roll your arcane.
21.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna say that Sindri wouldn't know this for the whole new to magic thing.
He may be new to magic, but yeah, okay, I can see your point. Yeah, you definitely rolled high enough that your character, your hypothesis is that she has some sort of gloves of storing that allow you to basically store weapons in them. Just like, didn't somebody...
The handy haversack.
Yeah,
I had the handy
well, no, not
haversack.
quite the handy haversack.
No,
but similar. Yeah.
Oh,
with the violin.
Didn't Fern have those? Or
I think I had gloves of storing, but I never used it.
you did use it. We just didn't role play that you used it. You know what I mean?
Well, no, because like I had them, and then I had that one snake staff, and I stored it in there, and then never touched it.
You forgot all about it. That's true. I forgot.
Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of spells that can conjure things. However, more than likely, it's closer to how the backpack works. Probably has either probably the glove she's wearing, or perhaps a ring or a bracelet to store objects. It's kind of nifty, not gonna lie.
While you're on that, what happens if you put a haversack in a haversack?
No.
What happens, Mr. Merrik?
You have my interest.
Okay.
I'm gonna, while you're explaining that to them, I'm gonna just go sit over there.
Is that because Druid has a tiny bladder moment, or you're actually just role playing? You're going to sit in a different spot.
I did literally role playing. Like I'm good on this whole speech, and I'm gonna just go chill in silence while they're occupied.
Well, actually, I just want to clarify. Fate knows what happens when you put a bag of holding or a handy haversack or anything like that inside of another one. Would Merrik know that?
Yeah.
I feel like he would. Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to clarify. Just making
BT knows too.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, so nothing but death and destruction. It quite literally will destroy anything. What's the radius? It's like a 10-foot sphere. I think it's 10 foot.
It's either 10 or 20. I forget, but
Yeah.
basically, just it opens up a tear in the astral plane and sucks everything in within a certain radius, and it's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite literally. There's. I know there's not one we can see here, but there's a sun that's emitting light and energy outward. Well, there's also kind of an inverse to that. It's kind of like a hole that's black, where it kind of does the same thing, and you fucking spaghetti afterwards. Now, I'm not going to say it can't be a useful thing at a very, very, very far range. However, it is not something you really want to fuck with. That's quite I wouldn't say it's taboo, but it's really dangerous.
Avery says,
yes, wired, supposed to be internal.
Yeah. Avery says, even I know that one. You'd never put any kind of heterodimensional or transdimensional storage device inside another one, whether it be a bag of holding or handy sack.
Yeah, or gloves. Bad. Now, interestingly enough, there was a chap that I knew back in the day had a crazy theory about making two rather small ones and putting out the end of an arrow. It's quite quite dastardly.
Jay
Is
has
that
a
a callback to Jace?
Yeah.
Are you proud I recognize
I
that?
know.
Jay has a
yeah.
question about that.
Yeah.
So if what you were saying about Miss Avalon's gloves are correct and they're like a storage space, if she were to reach into a haversack with her glove, would that cause an issue?
No,
It's a good question.
not
Question though.
not quite in the same way, I would imagine. Handy haversacks work a little bit differently than bags of holding or gloves of storing.
Well, actually,
they tend
just to clarify for your character's knowledge, since you're the one role-playing it, yeah, you can't put a bag of holding inside a handy haversack or a portable hole, or vice versa. Any of those three. It doesn't say anything about gloves of storing. Gloves of storing are a bit different. They technically they are like a trans-dimensional or extra-dimensional space, but they are.
They
I mean, it's just like you, and technically also, well, yeah, like if you're reaching into a bag of holding with basically they.
Would it have to be that you have to activate the gloves of storing within there because it's not innately
exactly
open, like a bag is open when you open it?
Yeah.
So Merrik shares all that.
It's a little bit different. Now, I probably wouldn't recommend activating anything like that, but it's typically the larger objects that have the problem that are just a open container. The gloves aren't really an open container. They kind of produce. That makes sense. Now, again, I probably wouldn't recommend it. Bad
Could
idea.
you do me a favor in your notebook? Seeing as mine doesn't save anything.
Yeah.
Could you just write to look into that? Sindri wants to look into that.
No, because it's up
Surely there'll be some videos on the Oracle of that happening or something.
If you do, I ask you, please do that far away from me. However,
if I was ever going to do it, I would do it with a mage hand. Don't worry, I'm not stupid.
It's fair. But yeah, no, I will say it was quite clever of him. He never actually made it. It was more just a schematic of that. Fun fact, out of character, that's something that I did with my first character, Jace.
Reference, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm such a good wife.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
I drew up physical schematics for a bag of holding arrow that would have made contact. It's like the ancient arrows from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You hit it and it just disappears. It's pretty cool. But yeah,
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. While they're talking, Thyra just went and sat under a tree, preferably by the running water, and it's just kind of.
Remember, they're just dead trees, but okay.
no faces on them.
I know there's no faces on them. I'm a little disappointed on that, but it's fine.
Thyra carves a face into it because she's bored.
No, I can't do that 2 campaigns in a row.
Carves a shield into it.
So, since you guys are done talking to, I don't know, I'm assuming that you guys would just kind of talk into the night with Avery, and you guys are impressed that she doesn't try and pry, and she just appreciates that she got to witness and get to know you guys better. And keep saying she, they. Avery is she She wants you to know that
They.
you can trust
They.
her. Did I say she again?
Yes.
Avery wants you to know that you can trust her. Trust them.
That.
I will say 100%. I would talk with Avery about what kind of divine magic can you potentially charge this effigy with to see if it does anything different.
She says, unfortunately, she's not. I
They-
mean, as a pal, they. Avery says, unfortunately, as a paladin, she doesn't have.
They.
As a paladin, they do not have the same level of understanding that like a cleric would, and unfortunately, she doesn't feel like she could be of much help.
Shay,
But she knows somebody that she can introduce you to.
Shay asks her if she recognizes who this holy symbol, which god it represents, if they know.
She has no idea. They have no idea.
That's the new tracker. Instead of processing, it's
I was not about to start a tally.
Oh my god.
The one thing Sindri would want to do as well while we're just chilling out for the night, he wants to try sensing the magic as he's throwing the axe. As in, to see if he can feel it, because he knows magic runs through him as opposed to him learning it. That's how he wants to try and sense it. I'm not
Okay.
saying he will feel anything, it's just what he wants to try and do.
I'll let you try 6 times, and you just need to roll me an arcane knowledge check. And if you hit the DC that I'm thinking of, then you will have succeeded.
Nope.
But the reason I'm limiting it to 6 times is because the focus level is kind of exhausting. So at that point, you'd be like ready to rest.
I get that. That was a 4, so that's definitely not getting there.
Okay. You got 5 more.
Change to a different dice.
Boys.
That is a 14.
Still nothing.
Okay. Next dice. 22.
Unfortunately, it was really close. You thought you felt it, but nope.
4th dice.
Mm-hmm. You have that many D20s, or you just keep swapping back to
I've
the
got
same?
4.
Oh, wow.
That was an 11, so not on that one. Last 2. Nope.
Well, you can always try again after a short rest or a long
Yep.
rest.
I'm fine with that. I wasn't expecting to learn it anyway, but the fact that I've got a chance to feel something from it.
Something,
Especially,
anything.
I feel the fact that he got it close to it, like he almost felt it, he'd know to carry on trying it as well. Is that
Yes,
what
that
you would
is
say
accurate.
from that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Right,
So-
I'm knackered.
Milo looks up at you. He's like, "Mwah." He seems a little sad that his little play buddy isn't around anymore.
It's okay, Milo. You still have Echo when Echo wants to play.
Milo's like, so yes,
As all this is winding down, Merrik is like, I'm fucking done. And he grabs his book and falls asleep. Just one out.
so
Like didn't even care about a watch. He's just sitting there all of a sudden out.
I'm gonna give you guys a teaser for what comes next. But if it's okay with, it might be a little disappointing, Druid, but I'm kind of reaching my limit here. I was wanting to, I'll give a tease, but then we will actually go through the complete description next Saturday. Is that okay? She's like, no, that's not
Wait,
okay.
I would rather just wait.
Well, no, the only tease that I'm going to give is the following, and that is that when you all bonk for the night, go to sleep.
Sindri takes first walk.
On one of the watches, on one of the watches where Thyra is asleep. By the way, who would be on watches when Thyra is asleep?
I'll take first this time, so that means Merrik last this time.
I only need 4 hours.
All right, we'll say Shaven. You notice that during the night when she is sleeping, there's this moment where Raven's Edge appears a little bit darker, like contrasted by a strange kind of subtle glow around Thyra.
Shae pulls out her journal and she makes a note.
Okay.
Glowing. ASMR. Hey, monkey.
So the sword was glowing and then she was glowing?
Well, the sword was glowing, but glowing black.
Yes. Shae makes her notes.
Gotcha. And we'll get to that next time. Is that okay, Druid? That's not too much?
It's fine.
I appreciate your patience and understanding. It's a little bit early tonight, but we went pretty long. Well, we did pretty good. Theraflu made a big difference, to be honest with you. Wish I'd started with
It's got a cough suppressant in it too.
Oh yeah, cough suppressant. I think the antihistamine really helps too.
So your cough is probably allergy related.
Maybe, or it could have just been a cough suppressant. Guys,
Damn.
I mean, you know what?
What?
I'm feeling okay. We could go ahead and do it now.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
I started for.
We're already. Yeah. You ended at a great spot. We're okay. I was just reading chat. You're fine.
Yeah, we'll kick off next episode with a banger.
Right on.
Yep.
Hi guys, thank you all. Sinfra, DeMarco, Kieran Chicato, Pelican, and Vlad. All of you. Bubba, you guys are wonderful. I adore you all. Basislin, Brett was here, fantastic. And
Spiper.
Flightless Bird.
Yeah, I honestly, as a player, didn't know if anybody else had picked up on Evelyn being in this world for 27 years, and I was just like,
Will Squidfish, hello, you're still here too. Oh, big stormy hugs to you.
I was like, did anybody else pick up
Spiper
on
too. Vlad.
Well, we all did. It was just one of those things where we were like, you know?
Interesting.
Hey,
He's a spy.
anti-druid. Guess what you just missed?
What did I miss?
Rubbing his face.
My favorite.
All right, I love you guys so much. Thank you again for
Thank you all for being understanding about being a shorter stream as well.
Let's find someone lovely and wonderful to raid.
Okay, home people, let's posse.
Interesting.
My brain heard a wild as fuck sentence.
It's not very often that I get to raid Phaser. Who did we raid last week?
Chucking him out just to baffle Druid.
I did
All
not
actual phrases as well.
I'm just saying, she's used to it.
I'll be honest.
I do it all the time.
Oh man, Nomi's streaming too. But I kind of want to raid Phaser just because of the really amazingly sweet thing he did by making me that song that he literally sang himself. I think I just
do it.
Shut up and do it.
Shut up and do it. No, do it now.
Phaser is currently playing Hunt Showdown.
Wow, that didn't destroy my throat.
There you go.
All right, we're queuing up the raid. You guys are the bestest D&D community ever. Thank you for sticking around tonight. Share the love with Phaser, the DYS master of FPS himself. And
Don't forget to catch Banana Tom and tomorrow streaming.
And tomorrow, Kieran Shikado is going to be doing his streamiversary. So we'll get to,
And I'll be on with him for that as well.
yeah, we'll get to multi-tab with both of them, or all three of them, I should say. Alrighty.
Have a good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bye.
See y'all later. Rating now.